Hi everyone, my name is Moni.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today we're going to be continuing our Uwe Rosenberg series with A Feast for Odin.
Yes, this one came out in 2016. This is the one that we've been working towards. We were pretty excited to play it today. If you're not familiar with the Uwe Rosenberg series, Monique and I have been chronicling all the different games, or as many of the games that we can get our hands on that designer Uwe Rosenberg has created and designed. Today, this one came out in 2016. Fields of Arle was the last one that we just covered on the channel, which was from 2014. So if you are interested in that, there's a playlist up here which you can check out all the different games that we've covered. We are also going to be playing with the Norwegians expansion. It's one of those ones that we like to play with no matter what, even if we're teaching to new players. So we figured, why not play with that one today?
Yeah, so that is one of the rare expansions that we pretty much will play with every single time. And considering how long of a game this is probably the only playthrough we're going to make of it. And so we wanted to play it the way that we really enjoy playing it. And so as per usual, we're going to start with a teach of the game and then go straight into our two-player playthrough and end with a review. So if you're interested in jumping around, we'll include timestamps in the description below.
Now, lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And without further ado, we are ready to begin. So if you please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for our two-player game of A Feast for Odin with the Norwegians expansion. Welcome to the wild board with a bunch of worker placement spaces.
It looks lighter than in a four-player game. In a four-player game, you have the other side and there's a little bit more spaces.
That's true. So if you have this game at home and haven't played it yet, just keep in mind that our worker placement spots are going to be slightly different from yours if you're playing with more than two players. And just to kind of give you the lay of the land, each player has their own home board, which has a bunch of negative points on it to start the game. So the way that this game works is over the course of the game, we're basically going to be doing everything we can to get these polyomino tiles that are going to come in different shapes and colors, just so we can place them on our home board to get rid of those negative points. That's not the only purpose. We're going to be using them to gain income, which is going to equate to points. We're also going to be placing them on other exploration boards, potentially some additional sheds. But the main point of this game is to get these tiles and place them on our boards. So tiles look like this. They come in a variety of different shapes, usually different sizes, actually. And they're in four different colors. We have orange, red, green, and blue. And that is the hierarchy of sorts when it comes to these polyomino tiles. That will be very important for when we actually talk about the rules of placing these tiles on our boards. And in addition to just filling up our boards, we're going to be doing a variety of things because this game is a sandbox of sorts. So we're going to be building ships, we're going to be emigrating them, we're going to be gaining animals, going whaling, gaining resources, upgrading tiles, gaining occupations.
Possibly founding some islands.
That's right. So there's a lot of things to be done in this game, and we're just going to try to do a combination of it to try to score the most amount of points. Now, in addition to the tile laying game, this is mainly a worker placement game. And so I do want to note that the home boards are double-sided and it's dependent on rounds. So one side is 6 rounds, the other side is 7. So today we're going to be playing the 7-round game, which is considered the full game.
It's the full game, the long game, but it's the way it was intended. You could play the other side, which is only 6 rounds. So it can be a little challenge to those who are used to 7 rounds because you're expecting more and more to happen with one extra round.
Now, like we were mentioning, we are going to be playing the game over the course of 7 rounds. And each round, we're basically going to be following all of these steps on this board right here. It looks like a lot of steps, but really each step is really quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and explain each step in a round very quickly, and then we'll discuss the worker placement spots, because this is where a majority of the game is going to take place.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so the first thing is, at the start of each round, we just gain a new Viking. So we just take the next Viking and place them in our grouping, because we're going to have more and more of them as the game progresses. Afterwards, we are going to have a harvest sometimes. Potentially. And so on your player board, there is an orange bar underneath the Vikings, and that basically tells you which rounds in which you're going to have a harvest. Thematically, the harvest represents a year in which you have a big bounty, I guess. And so you're gaining your crops to be able to feed your people and just do whatever you want with them, right?
Now everybody gets the same items. It is just kind of like a freebie from the game.
The harvest tiles are a set of orange tiles. They look like this for stage 1. And so in round 1, we're each going to get exactly these 3 tiles. In round 2, you get the stage 1 tiles again, which are going to be these 3, plus the stage 2 tile, which is a different tile, if that makes sense. And it'll become clear as we play the game what we're going to be using these tiles for. But just so you know, this is sort of like a freebie part of the game that you're going to get only during some rounds. After the harvest phase, then we flip over some exploration boards. So we briefly mentioned that there are a few exploration boards off screen. Because we're playing a 2-player game, we have a total of 4 of them, and each exploration board is double-sided. And so this is more of a later game thing, but over the course of the game, we'll have the opportunity to acquire these for ourselves, to be able to place tiles on them as well. And so during some rounds, and this is going to be the blue bar that's underneath the orange one, some rounds, these tiles will flip. And we will just discuss these as they come about when we play the game.
Yeah, they're all in the mid-game.
Once that's done, then you move on to the next phase, which is everybody gets to draw a new weapon. So at the start of the game, we each start with 3 of the exact same weapons. We have a bow and arrow, we have a spear, and we have a trap. And we're going to be using these weapons for certain action spaces on the board. Weapons are always placed face up. Those are always public knowledge. And so during this phase of each round, you get to draw 1 new weapon, and it'll go face up in front of you.
There's also a 4th weapon type. It's swords. We do not start the game with swords, but they are in the deck.
Right. And once that's done, then you move straight into actions. And so this is where a majority of the game is going to take place, as you'll probably notice. Now, the board looks like there are a ton of different action spaces, because there are, but it's actually not that confusing because each action spot is kind of grouped with like-type spaces.
Sure.
The way that you can read the board is there are different columns of action spaces. And so one of the main differences between the expansion board and the base game board is there's a 5th column, as you can see. In the base game board, there are only 4. Each action spot requires a certain number of Vikings depending on the column that you're placing your workers in. The first column only requires you to place 1, and each action spot, only 1 person can go there. It's true worker placement. The second column requires you to place 2. The third column requires 3, and the fourth column requires 4 workers.
Yeah, it's all denoted up here, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes. In addition, we'll touch upon this a little bit again later, but we also start the game with an occupation card. And these are the starting occupations. And basically, they let you do a variety of different things. Some of them are immediate one-time bonus kind of stuff. Some of them give you an ongoing benefit that only applies to you. And some of them are worth a certain number of points. And so one of the perks of placing your workers in column 3, because it's so worker expensive, right, is you get to draw a new occupation card. So that's one of the ways in which you can get more of these. And anytime you place workers in the 4th column, requiring you to spend 4 workers, you get to place an occupation card. So any occupation cards in your hand don't actually do anything for you until you actually place them out in front of you.
Now, conversely, if you do not want to play an occupation card, if you don't like it, in this expansion, they included these token tiles that give you extra points for discarding occupations you don't want.
So if you don't want to put your card into play, you can instead discard the card to take the topmost token. And these are going to go in decreasing order. So there are a few 4 points, and then 3 points, and then the rest of them are 2-point tokens.
There's only 2 4 points, a couple 3s, and then everything else is 2s, like Monique said.
Now, with this new board, we also have this 5th column. And the thing that's unique about this 5th column is it requires you to play either 1 or 2 Vikings on those spaces. But if you do take any of these action spaces, that is going to end your round. You're essentially going to be out for the rest of the round. So it's kind of like at the end of the round when you only have 1 or 2 workers left, it's a really nice column to go to because these spots are really nice. And in addition, if you were to place 2 Vikings, then you also get to put an occupation card into play. So it's also a cheaper way of getting to do that.
Right.
All right, so let's briefly discuss how these spaces work. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but we'll go through enough of them so you have an understanding of how each category works.
Sure.
And let's actually start sort of in the middle right here with the livestock market. So in this game, we are going to be able to gain animals. And so the base game comes with 2 different types of animals. There are sheep and cows. And with the Norwegians expansion, you have the addition of 2 more animals. We have pigs and horses. And so one of the major ways in which you can gain animals is by just buying them.
Sure.
And that's going to be in columns 2, 3, and 4. So anytime you see a hand symbol, that is something that you have to pay. So in this case, this is requiring you to pay 3 silver, which is the money in the game. We don't start with any money. And so a spot like this requires you to spend 3 silver, and it allows you to take any one animal, plus that specific tile. So anytime you see a specific tile right there, you're literally going to take that tile from the supply, and you'll be able to use it to either feed or whatever you need to do with it. This spot right here requires you to spend 2 silver and that tile. So this is different than this in the sense that you now have to spend a tile in addition to the money in order to take 2 of either sheep or pigs.
Yeah.
And to clarify, you can take any combination. You can take 1 sheep and 1 pig, or 2 of one type, whatever you want to do. And so by that same understanding, you could probably assume that this space is going to require you to spend 3 silver and that specific tile in order to take any 2 animals. Now, this is a very worker placement expensive spot, but it can allow you to take 2 horses, for example, which might be very lucrative in the future. Now, anytime you see an arrow in spots such as these 2, you see the silver arrow, that means you have to spend what's on the left in order to get what's on the right. These 2 spots are probably self-explanatory. This requires you to spend a pig in order to take those 2 items. So you're essentially, I guess you're thematically slaughtering the pig. Did I mention that this is a Viking game?
Vikings. Yes.
We're doing things that Vikings do. Whereas a spot like this is very similar, except you'll notice that it's a much larger spot. You get to do everything that's in this spot. So it's going to be, you exchange the sheep for all these things, or a horse for that, or a cow. Yeah. And that's essentially the livestock market. So you can kind of see how all those spaces relate to each other. Next, we have the weekly market, which is probably the simplest of the bunch because you literally just go there and you get the stuff that's on the space. So it's going to be stuff like 1 silver and that specific tile, or just that big tile. And all of these spaces are joined spots that allow you to do something else if you have that type of animal. So this one, for example, says you get 2 silver, those 2 tiles, and also that tile from a horse. So anytime you see the word from, that just means if you at least have that 1 horse in your player board, then you also get that tile. You do not have to spend the horse, unlike the arrow symbols.
Yeah, the arrow symbols, think of it, you're converting that tile into some other types of tiles.
Exactly. And so all of these are probably self-explanatory, but just so you know, a spot like this that gets you that tile says you get 2 or 3 of that green wool tile from 2 or 3 sheep. So if you have 3 sheep, then you get 3 of them.
Right.
And seeing as all these spaces are probably straightforward, we're just going to move on to the crafting spots, which are down here. And so this is another way for you to turn 1 tile into something else. So a spot such as this allows you to turn in that 3x1 orange tile into a 4x1 or 1x4, I guess, green tile. So you're literally just converting a certain specific tiles into a different one. So this requires those 2 specific tiles into 2 silver and that larger one as an example. And so spots such as these 3 down here follow very much the same structure, with the exception that you're now spending resources. And we'll tell you how to get resources in a second. But first, I just want to mention that in addition to these colored tile shapes, we also have irregularly shaped tiles, and they're all on these boards over here. There are 3 main ways in which you can acquire these tiles. You can buy them, you can go pillaging for them, but you can also forge them. And so that is what these 2 spaces are representing here. So this space allows you to turn in 1 ore, which is this specific resource, in order to take a forgeable tile. And so the forgeable tiles are going to be all of the tiles that have the forge tongs symbol on them.
This one like this.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Norwegians expansion, we have 2 separate boards now. One that has just the forgeable tiles of all weapon value less than 9, because that board specifically is to separate tiles that are eligible for this space. So this spot allows you to turn in 1 ore to take any of those tiles, essentially. But for this spot, there are also a few forgeable tiles that are on this board.
Yeah, I kind of separated it so all the forgeable ones are here and all the non-forgeable ones are on this outskirts.
All right, so then after crafting, we have the mountains and trade spaces. So this is where you're going to be able to gain resources and also upgrade your tiles into the better colors, I suppose, the more useful colors. And so in this game, we have 3 main types of resources. We have wood, stone, and ore. And so the main way in which you get these is by going to the mountains and getting them.
Sure.
And so, for example, if I were to go to this spot right here, this allows me to take 2 resources from 1 mountain strip. Anytime you take resources from a mountain strip, there's a green arrow on the left side, and you always have to take the resources from that side onward.
Yeah, from left to right.
From left to right. So if I were to take that spot, I would only be able to take 2 wood. But now that the 2 wood are gone, when somebody goes to another spot that allows them to take from the mountain strip, they can now get stone.
Yep.
And so the further and further you go into the strip, the closer you'll get to the money, which is always nice. And because we are playing a 2-player game, I don't actually see a spot that allows you to take from more than 1 mountain strip. In a 4-player game, that is there,
Right.
but not for us, unfortunately. We're going to get a new mountain strip each round. So these are not the only 2 that we're going to work with.
Right.
Now, anytime you see just the resources without the actual strip, you're taking those resources from the supply. Now, in addition to getting resources, these spaces will allow you to upgrade your goods tiles. The way that you read these spaces is the number tells you how many different tiles you're allowed to upgrade, and the arrow tells you how many upgrades you're allowed to do with it.
Sure.
So this spot right here allows me to upgrade 3 different tiles once. And so going back to the color hierarchy, upgrading a tile just means changing it to the next color, but the same size of tiles.
Yes, so you go from orange to red, red to green, green to finally a blue.
Exactly. So for example, if I have this nice big tile and I were to upgrade it once, it would upgrade to its red side.
Sure.
And so you just flip it over. If you need to upgrade this to its green side, I would actually exchange it for the exact same size tile, but now it's green. And so that is going to come into play when we actually need to place these tiles on our boards and such. So for a space such as this one, this allows you to upgrade 2 different tiles twice. So that's a good way to get from a red to a blue. Now this spot is unique because it also allows you to take 2 weapon cards. And so I think this is the only spot on the entire board that allows you to gain weapons.
There's this one out here.
Oh yes, that's right. And the purpose of weapons we will talk about in a second. So now I'm actually going to skip back up to the top of the board here and we'll tackle the bottom of the board last.
Sure.
In addition to our home boards, we will have the opportunity to build additional boards to place tiles on. There are 3 main types of additional boards. We have sheds, which look like this, which basically allow you to place extra wood and stone. And so the way in which you read all of the additional boards, including the islands, is at the top right-hand corner of the board, it tells you the amount of points you'll get just for having this at the end of the game. So in this case, it's 8 points.
Right.
However, there's also a certain number of negative point spaces. And so if I don't cover up any of these spots, this is only going to net me 2 points,
Right.
if that makes sense.
8 minus the 6 negatives.
Exactly. So if I'm able to cover all of them, then I'll get the full 8 points. So this is a shed, and the way in which you get this is by going to this spot up here. So this area up here is how you build the additional houses, and it costs 1 wood.
Yes.
In addition to that, we have the middle size shed. I forgot what this is called.
Right.
But it's this spot right here. It costs you 1 stone. And the thing about this is you can put a wood and a stone, but you can also place tiles. And so we didn't go into detail about placing tiles on our home boards yet, but maybe now is the perfect time to do so.
Why not? Why are you doing all these things?
Yeah, right. If you look at your home board, at the bottom right-hand corner, it actually gives you a key that tells you what types of stuff you're allowed to place onto your home board. So on our home boards, we can only place green tiles, blue tiles, ore, and silver. And the thing about green tiles is green tiles cannot touch.
Right.
So that is why blue is always better than green, because you can just put blue wherever you want. So if that didn't make sense, this just means we're going to be placing tiles literally on our board, and this would be illegal.
We're trying to cover up all those negatives.
Yes. Green tiles cannot touch, but they can be staggered like that. And orange and red tiles can't even go on your home board. Just forget about it, right? And so the thing that's neat about these storage houses and sheds is you can place orange and red tiles on this board. All 4 color types can go on it. The only tiles that cannot touch are orange and red, if that makes sense.
Yep.
All the tiles that you place here still must fit within the confines of the area here. But one of the things that you'll notice is we'll have the opportunity to gain bonuses every round. There are a couple of bonus spots on our home board, and there are also some on these sheds and houses. And so the way that that works is if you are able to fully encircle the bonus spot, covering all of the squares around it, then every round in which you have that, you will get what the bonus is. And so in this case, it's some sort of pelt. So that might be very useful for you because it's basically free polyomino tiles
Free
to
stuff.
use at your disposal. Exactly. And so the last type of shed or house is the longhouse, which costs 2 stone, and that's this. It's going to give you 17 points at the end of the game if you're able to cover up all the -1s, and it just gives you a bunch of, or like 3 different areas where you can gain additional bonuses. It's just 17 points is a lot if you're able to fully enclose it. And again, this can take orange and red tiles, so it's actually pretty nice. So those are the main types of extra side houses you'll be able to build. Now, we'll talk about this more as we start the playthrough, but with the Norwegians expansion, we're also given an asymmetrical artisan shed. It's double-sided. You can choose which side to use, but this is not actually in play until you choose to put it into play by going to a spot that allows you to build a shed,
which is that
specifically the smallest building. The 4-player side also has another spot in the 5th action column, but I guess we don't have that.
We don't.
So the only place to put this into play is by going here and spending 1 wood.
And these are truly asymmetric. I have 2 different sides. Monique has 2 different sides. You just shuffle them up and give them out to each player.
Right. Now, in addition to building houses, we are going to be building ships. So this is actually one of the big competition spots in the game.
It's a big need.
Everybody needs to build ships. There are 2 main ways in which you can gain ships. One of the ways is just by building them, by turning in wood. So there are 3 types of ships. We have whaling boats, which give you 3 points at the end of the game. So they give you different amounts of points. We have I think this is called the Nar, which is 5 points. That's the second column. And the third column lets you turn in 2 wood for the long ship, I think. And these are worth 8 points at the end of the game. Now, the other way in which you can gain these, if you don't have the opportunity to go there, is you can just buy them. And so this is an anytime action. You can literally do this at any time. It doesn't take a turn to do it. You can pay the amount of silver that's listed on the actual boat. Boats will allow you to do a variety of things, including going whaling, going pillaging, and emigrating.
And just know, by spending that money or that silver, you're actually getting it back by the value of the boat itself.
Right. So it nets you nothing, essentially, which is not as good as spending 1 wood for it. But sometimes you have to do what you got to do, right? All right. We are in the home stretch of sorts, because now we're going to talk about the action spots that require you to use dice. So the game comes with 2 different kinds of dice. This is 12-sided, I think, and 12. This is the 8-sided die.
It is.
And there are 2 areas of the board that will require you to use dice. One is up here in hunting, and the other side is down here with sailing. And so just as a rule of thumb, any of the dice spots that are at the top of the board, they want you to roll low. You want to roll as low as possible. So it's kind of the opposite. And all the spots at the bottom, you want to roll high. So let's go ahead and start with hunting, which is up here. The way that you read these spots is on the left-hand side, it tells you what type of die is going to be required for you to roll in order to take that spot. And everything on the right is basically what you're rolling for.
Spoils.
The spoils, what you're trying to win. And so say, for example, the hunting game. If I were to go there, I would roll the 8-sided die, and I want to roll low. Because whatever I roll, so in this case, it's a 4, I have to spend a combination of whatever resources are on the left-hand bar here, which in this case is a bow and arrows and wood, equal to whatever I rolled in order to get that stuff.
Right.
So I have to spend a combination of 4 bow and arrow and wood, which I clearly don't have.
Yeah, you start the game with only 1 bow and arrow, so you'd be looking for a roll of 1.
Yes. The good thing about rolling dice in this game is you have 3 attempts. Right. So if I didn't like that roll, I could roll again. But okay, that's worse, and I can get a 3rd attempt, and whatever that 3rd attempt is, I'd have to keep it. If I were to fail, like in this case, and by the way, you can also choose to fail if you don't want to succeed, then you get a consolation prize, and it's always one of each of the things that were in that left-hand bar. Yep. So in this case, I would gain 1 wood and 1 bow and arrow as a consolation prize, which will help me win the next time I try.
Ideally.
And so that is how all of these spots work. The thing that is different about these 2 spaces is, if you can see really tiny, there's a worker with an arrow, and that is part of the consolation prize for losing. If you were to go to this spot here, and I were to not succeed, then I actually get one of my Vikings back to be able to put out again in that same round. And so the same thing for this spot, except you get to take back 2 Vikings, which is nice. And the thing that's also different about the whaling spots is they require you to have a whaling boat. And so both the whaling boat as well as the longship, they have spaces on them for ore. So there are these like really shaded squares where you can place ore on them. Each whaling boat already comes equipped with one ore on it, and the ore helps you succeed your roll just by a little bit. And so when going whaling, you're going to roll the 12-sided die, which is scarier than the orange one.
Sure.
But for each ore that you have on your whaling boats, it's actually going to decrease the value by 1. So whatever I were to roll, which this case is a 9, this is actually an 8 that I now have to turn in spears and wood. So still not very good, but better, right?
Now, any ore that you have on your boats is permanently there. You cannot then go move it off to go use it for other things. Also, in this spot, there's kind of like shaded out boats. You can use up to 3 different whaling boats for this action.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and jump down to sailing, which is down here. And I'm going to just skip to the die spots for now, since we're on the topic of dice. So the difference between hunting and raiding and pillaging, plundering and theft, oh my goodness, these are all really terrible things, is these spots down here, you want to roll high. Because, for example, the raiding spot right here, this is going to require me to roll the 8-sided die, and I rolled an 8.
Very good.
And so, in addition to the die value, I can spend swords and stone to increase that value, because whatever my ending value is, I get to take a blue tile that's of equal to or lower value than that. So each blue tile has a certain sword value to it. So this is a sword value of 10. All of these tiles also have sword values on them, so they are eligible to be taken via these spots. Had I rolled this 8, I could turn in, for example, 2 additional stone to take this from the supply. So you're only taking 1 tile with those action spots, but the reason why you want to roll the higher the better is to increase your options of tiles.
Yeah, you want to get the biggest tiles as possible.
Yeah. And the biggest tile, by the way, of the blue color is 15.
Yeah.
Now, there's also one tile that has a higher value than that, and it is the crown. This is I think it's called a battle value of 16. Only one person obviously can take this, and it's the only tile that's actually worth points at the end of the game. This is worth 2 points for whoever is able to take it. Now, all of these spots work exactly the same way that I just mentioned. The one thing, though, that's different is they require a ship in order for you to even take the spot. So in order for you to take raiding, pillaging, or plundering, you have to have the long ship. And these, you can place ore on them because they will apply for certain spots. This first spot, it says specifically you cannot use ore. It's a very worker cheap spot, and so that's probably why. The balance, yeah. But for example, for pillaging, you can use the ore. You can take them into account.
Yeah, and so that would add value to the dice.
Exactly. And for plundering, this doesn't require you to roll a die at all, but you have to have 2 of that boat. This spot up here is great because if you have a Nar, you can basically pay 2 silver to flip over any number of different green tiles to their blue side. So they have to be unique shapes, but that you can flip over any number of them to their blue side, which is quite nice.
It is a fantastic spot.
Naveen loves that spot.
I love that spot.
This spot, similarly, you have to have a Nar, but this is the third way in which you can acquire these tiles. You can buy 2 of them. So in addition to having the sword value, they'll also have a certain amount of money that they cost. Some of them are free. This one's free. And you can basically buy up to 2 tiles using that spot. Now, the last type of spots under sailing are the action spots that allow you to take these exploration boards. So people who do really, really well in this game swear by these exploration boards. If you want to have a really high score, you want to take at least one of these and really use it to your advantage. We kind of alluded to what they're useful for because they also have income, which we haven't really talked about too much yet. But they also have these bonuses that you can get, and they're all asymmetric. And so they're also worth points at the end of the game. So they're great. You definitely want to get at least one of these.
They do start with negative points, though.
Yes.
There's negative 25, but it comes with 15. So you're starting with negative 10.
So you definitely want to cover them. Now, we were mentioning kind of earlier that these boards will flip because they're actually all double-sided and they're completely different island boards depending on the side. So there's always going to be 4 available in a 2-player game. In higher player counts, there will be more. And so the thing that's kind of neat about the Norwegians expansion is at the top right-hand corner of each board, it tells you which worker placement spot you need to go to with what type of boat in order to claim this island. So specifically for this island, it needs me to go to the column 2 spot, which is this, and I can have either a Gnar or a longboat in my possession in order to claim this exploration board.
Sure.
And if it wasn't clear, you're claiming it for yourself. So
Yes.
Once you claim it, nobody else can take it.
It becomes your board that you're now trying to deal with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that is how all of these spots work, and we'll talk about them more as we play the game. Now, the last thing that you can do with the boats that are very, very useful is you can emigrate them. So one thing that we didn't mention is at some point during the game, you're going to have to feed your people every round. And what that looks like is up here, you have a banquet table, and the empty spaces represent people at the table who you need to feed. And so you're going to be placing orange and red tiles there. Typically, the tiles that you get during harvest is going to be most useful for these spaces. And they're going to look something like this. So at the end of each round, you're going to want to fill every single spot. So that's not happening. It has to look exactly filled like this.
Yes.
Now, every spot that you do not fill, every square is going to be -3 points. Now, that's really rare. It's actually not too difficult to do this.
It's easier in this game than other Uwe Rosenberg games to feed.
But you're just going to want to not neglect that. While we're on the topic of feeding your people, just so you know, you can place multiple of the same exact type of tile on the banquet table, just like this. But if you were to do that, then only one of them can be placed horizontally. The other one must be placed vertically. And like we were mentioning earlier, the orange cannot touch orange and red cannot touch red. But you can also place silver there because it's kind of like you're buying them out instead of feeding them.
It's like, here, go buy your own food.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
And so when you go to spaces such as this, or this one, this allows you to pay an amount of silver equal to whatever round that you're in. So the earlier, the cheaper, in order to emigrate one of your ships. So if I had this ship already in my possession and I were to go to that spot, I pay whatever the amount, I get to flip this ship over and place it on the leftmost spot of my banquet table.
Yeah.
So it does 3 things. The first thing is now that ship is no longer available to me. But now it is worth 18 points. So it increased the amount of points it's worth dramatically.
Sure.
And it decreases the amount of space that I'm required to feed from round to round. So that is one thing that we're probably going to be fighting over over the course of the game. Something that's new with the Norwegians expansion is you can now emigrate whaling boats. This is not something that you could do in the base game.
Sure.
Specifically, to emigrate these, you have to go to a spot that allows you to do so. But it doesn't require you to spend money for it if you go to a spot like this, for example. But it's only going to be worth 7 points, and it's a half. It's like not having to feed one person as opposed to 2 at the table. All right, and now the very last spots of the game are very straightforward, very easy. There are these bottom 3, and they just have to do with gaining and playing occupation cards.
Right.
So we didn't really discuss the occupation cards much because the game comes with a lot of them.
Hundreds.
Yes.
I think maybe 200.
Something like that. Yeah. And so we will read them out to you as we play our game, but even I don't think we've seen them all either. There's a whole appendix for having to look them up. And so in order for you to gain more of them, besides just playing in the 3rd and 4th columns and such, you can take these action spots. This spot right here allows you to spend a stone or an ore in order to put 1 into play and gain a silver.
Yep.
So anytime you see an arrow that goes from the hand to the table, you're putting the occupation into play. And anytime you see the arrow going from the deck of cards to your hand, you're gaining them. So this spot lets you take 2, play 1, and gain a silver.
Yep.
And that one is just, you can play up to 4 occupation cards. And that is all of the worker placement spots on this board.
For a 2-player game.
For a 2-player game.
Yeah.
The other sides of the board are going to be more of the same. If you understand these, you'll understand those. And so before we continue with the rest of the round structure, which is not going to be too much, I promise, I just want to mention one thing that's really, really important, and that is how to place tiles on your main board. At any time during the round, you can place any tiles that you just kind of have out on your board. But once you set it, it's going to stay there forever. Basically, once you kind of finish the actions phase, it's up to you how you want to house rule, the finality of these tiles. But the way we do it is as long as you haven't placed it
in that round,
then it's fine. But once the tile's on your board, it's there forever. And so you can literally put the tiles kind of anywhere. You can start working on the bonuses first if you want to. The one main rule that you have to follow is in terms of covering up these hand spaces. So when we get to the income phase, which is going to be very soon, everybody's going to gain an amount of income equal to the lowest value hand showing.
Right.
So at the start of the game, it says 0.
0.
In order for you to cover up a hand spot, you have to have covered up all of the spaces to the left, all of the spaces below it, and everything in the corner diagonal kind of going downwards to the bottom left.
Yeah, all the entire square that makes up has to be covered.
Right. And so if I had this tile, I could actually do that. That would be legal because all of these squares in this kind of income diagonal would be covered.
Sure.
Now, I would not be allowed to do something like this, for example, because I cannot cover up that income hand until all of the squares to the left of it are covered, if that makes sense. The bonus spots are considered covered already, so you don't have to worry about them, but you can cover them if you'd like.
If you need to, yeah.
If you're really good at polyomino tile laying, then you might be good at this, but it's tough. You're going to want to do your income as soon as possible because you're gaining points essentially every round.
And again, always remember the rule. Blue can touch blue, but green cannot touch green.
Exactly. All right, so once everybody has placed all of their available Vikings for the round, that ends the actions phase, and we then move on to the next phase, which is just determining start player. Whoever was the last person to place a Viking on the board gets start player, which is really nice. You're going to see us kind of trying to wait it out and trying to battle for who can stay out the longest. Once that's done, then you move on to the next phase, which is just collecting income. So you look at all of your boards and any available income then you get from the supply. After that, we have animal breeding. It's an Uwe Rosenberg game, right? And so the way that animal breeding works in this game is if you have at least 2 of the same type of animal and none of them are pregnant, then you flip over the animal to its pregnant side. The pregnant animals are worth a little bit more. And in the next round, or any round in which you have animal breeding and you have at least 1 pregnant animal, then that pregnant animal flips over and you gain another one of that specific type from the supply.
They give birth.
So that's how animal breeding works. It alternates. Now, the one exception to that are the pigs, which again are new with the Norwegians expansion. If you have at least 2 pigs, you will get a third. And so they just reproduce every round.
Yeah, so they become pregnant and reproduce in the same round.
Yes, but they are only worth 1 point at the end of the game, whereas the other animals are worth more. After animal breeding, then you have to pay your feast. Following that, we collect all of our bonuses. So again, that is all of these bonus symbols that you have completely encircled with tiles.
Legally,
yes. And I just want to note that after the final round, we are not going to do anything after feast. So you do not collect bonuses in the final round. Once that's done, then we basically update and add new mountain strips. So where there's going to be a method to doing this, which we'll discuss during the playthrough.
Sure.
And then finally, we remove all of our Vikings from the action board and we prepare for the next round. And we basically do that for 7 rounds
times.
in a 7-round game. At the very end of the game, we go into final scoring. And so final scoring is actually quite simple. We're going to score points for any of our ships that we still have in our area here, for all of our emigrations, for any exploration boards, which are those side boards here that you'll get points for. And you always score these. We take into consideration the negative points at the end of scoring, which is painful. We also score points for our sheds and houses, any of them that we were able to acquire. Our animals, of course, any of our occupation cards that have points on them. Any of our silver, our leftover silver, will be just straight points, 1-to-1. And then whoever gained the English crown gets those points. After you're done calculating the positive points, you add up all of the negative points, subtract that from your total, and whoever has the highest score at that point wins. Whew! That was a lot.
Game.
That is a feast for Odin. It is a lot, but we are going to get cleaned up and then we'll get started with our playthrough.
Okay, we have reset everything. We are ready to go. Hopefully that teach made sense to you.
Yeah, I hope so.
We just need to figure out who's going to be going first. Who's going to get the moose?
Ready?
Yes. You will get the moose.
I get the moose. I'm happy about that for this game. So I'm gonna go first. By the way, we are not necessarily good at this game. Well, I don't want to speak for you,
not
but
good at this game.
Our scores range wildly.
Sometimes well, sometimes really bad.
Yes,
so.
It's a sandbox game of sorts, and so depending on what you kind of go for and what happens around the table, things can happen. But if you are great at this game, please leave us strategy comments down below because we would love to hear it.
Yes.
Are you ready to begin?
Take us away.
It's going to be a journey, and I hope it's a good one.
Bon voyage.
All right, round 1, phase 1. Let's go. So just grab a new Viking.
New Viking.
No, we have 6.
Boom.
There we go. Next up, we have the harvest, and I've prepared it right here. There you go. It is a 3-tile harvest. They're all phase 1 tiles. They look like this. Yep. It is a nice welcome reward.
It is.
So any tiles that I gain, we're going to put them up here. I know we've left a lot of space here just in case we gain exploration boards, but just so you know. All right. Now we are going to skip phase 3 because in round 1 you do not flip over any exploration boards. So we'll save that for round 3.
Right.
But we do draw a new weapon. So here you go, Naveen.
One for me.
That's for you.
I get a sword, so
What?
I have one of everything.
Ah, that was supposed to be mine. I got a bow and arrow.
Yep.
All right. And now we go into actions, starting with me. All right.
Have at it.
Well, I think I'm going to try to be less wasteful with my Viking actions because the last game we played, I placed too many of these out at once.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go here. Real simple, real easy. Mountains and trade. So I get 2 resources from one of these strips.
Okay.
This one is longer than the other, by the way, because this is the one that comes with the Norwegian's expansion. For some reason, it's a little bit longer.
Right.
So let's just take from it, I guess. So I get
Okay.
2 of these, and now I have 2 wood. So now it is to you, Naveen.
Very good.
And by the way, over the course of the round, we are going to be kind of configuring with our tiles. Just kind of ignore it until we get to the end of the action
Yeah,
phase.
I like to just kind of do this where I have it here.
Yeah.
So I don't like accidentally spend it, but it's not committed here until
Right.
we actually have to feast.
Yeah, that makes
Because I
sense.
might want to upgrade some of these tiles
Sure.
because I see an opportunity.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I know what I want to do. I'm going to get some resources as well. And
Okay.
I'm going to go to this spot, which is going to get me 3 from one board and then 2 weapon cards off the top of the deck. So I'll
Okay.
take the 2 weapon cards.
Which tile?
Ooh, another
like?
sword
Oh,
and a
trap.
I'm going to take 2 wood and a stone. So we have to work from left to right. 1, 2, and then the last one is 3. There we go.
that's a nice spot.
Which one?
Do I have regrets? Maybe I do.
The moose.
All right, back to me. I am going to go to the second column spot right here in crafting. So this requires me to spend either a wood or an ore. So I'll spend a wood.
Wood.
There you go.
Very good.
And this gives me 1 silver. Can I have a silver, please?
Yes, you may.
And this like a treasure chest square. Looks like that.
Yeah.
It's a blue.
It's a luxury
so
item.
I'm looking at you right there,
Okay.
but I'll place that later.
So you're not committing to that yet.
No,
Okay.
I am not.
But that's
I
a nice spot.
really am.
By covering that up, you'll have a 2-hand exposed, and basically for
Get 2
all the
income.
incomes, you'll get 2 times however many rounds we're going to get
Yes.
income. So
It's going to be good.
it's good. Well, I am going to commit myself to
Ah.
laying a snare, considering I wanted to get. I wanted to
Alright.
go to this spot, and I
Yeah.
wanted the weapons to dictate the type of action that I'm going to go for.
Ah,
right?
I like
So
that.
by finding snares, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I have wood and snares, so
Right.
this is going to want me to roll low again.
Yes.
So I can afford to roll a 4 or less
What an adventurer you are.
because
Vivian.
it's going to require traps.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them, and then wood, which I have 2 of. So the max I can roll is a 4, but I get 3
You get
rolls.
3
here.
rolls.
Please roll 1.
Good luck. Left hand.
1.
Wow.
Left-handed roll.
Wow, you rolled a 1.
Okay, so I am successful here.
So
Perfect.
one trap or 1 wood. Which would you like to?
I'm gonna spend a trap.
Okay.
Now this is not gonna go very far because part of the reward is gaining a trap card, so it's just gonna come right back to me.
Okay, I guess it's a snare.
A snare, yeah, and then
Nice.
I get a 2x4 green, which is like a big pelt.
Yes, Naveen likes to call them by their square sizes.
I think especially
like
for the
to-
demonstration today, it might be helpful to say
Well,
2x4 green.
I'm going to call it a pelt.
I will say 2x4 pelt.
Okay.
How about that? A green pelt.
Well,
And I
congratulations.
will most likely be placing this here. I am not committed to it.
Oh my
but
gosh.
That seems pretty good.
Yours is just better than mine.
Well, I got lucky on that. So, and I'm happy I didn't have to lose my my snare. So that was pretty good.
You just need that. If you can get this blue figure right there, then you can encircle the mead.
I don't have enough workers, nor do I
Right.
have a stone. So
Ah.
not the stone, the ore.
Oh, okay. Well, it is back to me, and if I play my hand correctly, I can go first again next round.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think I never know what the timing is on this. I'm very scatterbrained when it comes to Feast for Odin, but I'm just going to build a boat. Why not?
Time to build. Okay.
I'm going up there.
A
It
gnar.
costs me a wood. I'm getting a gnar.
So you're doing the bottom action
Here's
here.
the
So
wood.
Monique had the
Yes.
options of this or this. So
Right.
she's doing that. So
Don't have any stones, so no shed for me, but I will spend that wood and
Wood.
take a gnar. So now I've got 5 points to my name.
you have things to do.
Minus all these.
Okay, so now
whatever that is.
If I play my Vikings right, I will get the moose.
Correct.
As long as I don't spend these 2, then
In
I would
one
not be
go.
last to go.
That's true. I just set.
You just said that.
What did I do?
You did just say that.
I got distracted.
You did. Okay, a little jealous of the boat that you have. I'm not gonna be able to get that one, but I will be able to get a whaling boat.
Ah.
So I'll go here.
Same price. I'll have
Same
you know.
price. One of these. Yep. And then I get one of those.
There you
And
go.
this does come built in with a nice ore.
I debated that
Yeah.
boat, but alas. Well, I am going to go second no matter what. So I might as well put this somewhere good, I guess.
Sweet.
For my last Viking, I think I will go to a 5th column spot here.
Okay.
I was a bit jealous of your weapon using.
Mm.
So I'll go to the elk hunt,
Okay.
even though I don't even think I'll be able to use that tile just yet.
Not yet,
but
yeah.
we'll save it for later.
Okay.
So this spot allows me to spend any of these 3. So traps, spears, and bows and arrows.
Yeah.
So that's what I have. I have 4 of them.
You're looking to roll low.
I'm looking to roll low, but if I don't succeed, then I get 1 of each of those. So
Yeah,
it's
pretty
actually
good.
not too bad. Please.
8.
Okay.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case
You
scenario.
just have 2 more rolls.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't let it go.
7.
This is looking like a
A
fail.
New Year's countdown.
Here we go.
8.
Okay, I failed. So
Okay.
I get 1 of each type.
So you do have to thumb through the deck.
I
That is the
do.
one thing about the game.
That's okay. We got a spear, we got a trap, and a bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just shuffle these,
Sure.
and it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, as long as
Not
it's
a
just kind of
huge
shuffled,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. That is the end of my round. I'm not too happy with my with what I did.
You have a
this
lot of
round.
weapons though going into the next round.
Yeah,
that's
that
really
is
good.
that's nice.
Yeah.
All right, back to you.
Back to me. Well, I wanted that spot.
Oh, good.
I was definitely IDing that spot.
So
So
that's.
now
I mean, actually, I would argue that this might be better because if I was successful, I would get that piece and 1 weapon,
yeah.
and I wouldn't be able to use that piece anyway.
I just really like
So-
that piece because it basically goes back to our teach example. All
Yeah.
I would have to do is just upgrade it, and then boom, it would just slide in right into the spot. So
Yeah.
that's why by you taking that,
But you wouldn't have been able to put it there this round.
not this
anyway,
round, but
so-
in a future round.
yeah, that's true.
All right, I really wanted that spot, but I think there's another way to get some stuff. So I'm going to go out to this column here. That's going to get me 1 silver, kind
You
of
get
that
a mead.
yeah, a mead, and then that like C shape or U shape.
It's the pig shape, but the orange side.
The orange version of it, which is kind
So-
of like a wreath.
I think technically each color is like a type of good. I forgot these. This is harvest goods or something?
Yes.
The
something like
red
that.
is animal products, blue is luxury, and green is something else. I don't remember. We just go by the colors.
colors.
All right, that's it.
Yep.
So you got your silver?
I got my silver. I got
Okay.
my mead, and then you gave me that.
Perfect. That is the end of the actions phase. So let's place our tiles. This is how we operate.
Sure.
Place our tiles before we move on to the next phase so that we can finalize them. I'm just going to place that there.
This is definitely going to stay here. I have no other legal placement.
Okay, and your feast is good?
It's good.
All right. So let's move on to the next phase, which is determining start player. Because Naveen placed his Viking last, you get to go first in the next round. You
Coveted.
lucky person, you. So now we collect our income. So I get 2 silver
You get
because that
2.
is the lowest showing value.
As do I. I also have a 2 showing.
Nice.
These are both legally placed.
Thank you. Now, if you have a copy of this game, you'll probably notice that there are, the silver is kind of strange. There are singles, there are some that are bunched, and you can always exchange these values from the supply. You don't have to keep this like.
I think it's just so
Dual.
that eventually when you start placing things out, it's just easier just to be like, boom,
Yeah,
just put it down.
because sometimes you'll have like 24 silver. Can
Right.
you imagine just having 24
Singles.
single silver? Yeah. All right. So that's that. Animal breeding. Neither of us have animals, so that's real simple. Feast. So just turn in your tiles. I think we were both.
I think we're on the same
Successful,
page
right?
with this. Yeah, 1
So-
mead, 1 basket of beans, and then the peas.
Oh, thank you. So that is feast. Let's get any bonuses. Have you encircled
No, I
anything?
have not encircled.
Okay. Any expert players out there are probably like, what are these people doing? They didn't get any bonuses.
They're not breeding, shipping, and bonusing.
Okay, so here is where we configure the mountain strips. So every time you get to this phase, you're going to remove the leftmost resource of each strip. And if, when doing so, it's either empty or only the last space, which is the 2 silver usually, or I guess the 2 ore, remain, then you would remove the
Strip the whole
entire
thing.
mountain strip and it would be gone. But these 2 will stay and we will gain an additional 1.
Nice.
So now we're going to go ahead and populate
Repopulate it.
that. So if you'd like to do that, I'm going to go ahead and move to the last phase, which is just removing our Vikings from the board. So I'll go ahead and give you yours.
Thanks, and this is all yours. I'll get you yours.
Thank you. Perfect. So we have some wood. So this one has 3 stone this time, and then 1 ore and the 2 silver.
2 silver.
All right, and just like that, we are done with our first round. So we didn't do much.
It'll ramp
A whole
up.
lot.
It's
So-
not until round 5 where you're like, okay, I'm a
Yeah.
little more comfortable.
Until your board starts getting a little bit more filled. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and move on to the next round, round number 2. So of course we start by
Get a
removing a new Viking. Now
It's
we
another
have
worker, but somebody else
7.
to feed. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We are going to have a harvest. So we're going to get the exact same 3 tiles plus 1 additional one.
Yeah, because again, it's the 1 and the 2s. There's only 1 level 2, but 3 level 1s.
Yes, the level 2 is nice and long. So here is your set.
Thank you.
Just go ahead and grab mine.
Sure.
All right, so harvest is done.
Okay.
And just like in the last round, we are not flipping over any exploration boards yet, so we're going to skip that. But we do get a new weapon, so here's yours.
Weapon.
And
Spear.
here's mine.
Spear is good.
My first sword. Hooray! Now I have 1 of each type at least.
Yep.
And that's it. Now starting with you, Naveen. Actions again.
Okay, let me temporarily see what this is. So we didn't talk about this, but again, in the Norwegians, you get 1 of these, and they're double-sided, completely asymmetric. I could either build a lumberjack hut in the future or a barn. So this one is very interesting to me. Maybe I'll work towards it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that, just so, we can kind of see what I'm working towards.
Okay.
I really liked that spot I went to earlier.
Okay.
The gain 3 things and then take 2 weapons.
Yeah, you do like that spot. It's a good spot.
I like the weapons.
There's your weapons.
Okay, so another sword and another trap or snare. So that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right.
Which mountain strip? You get how many?
Ooh,
3?
I get 3.
Yeah, A, B, or C.
I'm going to go with C. I'm going to take the wood
Okay.
and the stone.
2 wood and a stone.
Yeah, there we go.
Very good. Okay. I like to get very tunnel visioned when it comes to this game, and that usually leads to my demise.
Okay.
So I am going to go to a very, very worker expensive spot.
A 4?
And it's this spot.
Ooh.
So I have everything I need. I saved up my silver. It's 3 silver, and this tile that I just got from the harvest, I just got it from the farm.
Wow.
Just so I can get 2 animals. So I'm
Okay.
gonna spend this. I'm going to this spot. Because I went to this spot, I get to play an occupation card.
Or you can trash it for 4 points.
Or I can trash it for 4. So, you know what? This occupation card is worth 1 less than the 4 points, but it's still early, so I feel like it might come in handy.
Sure.
And it basically is the melee fighter. If I go raiding or pillaging, I can use spears instead of long swords. So that might come in handy. I might not ever use it, but it's also worth 3 points for me. So I'm just going to place it right there.
Oh, yeah.
So just 1 point less than 4, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and now for the actual action spot, I get 2 of any of the animals. I'm going to take 2 horses. The horses are the highest scoring point animal.
Pretty valuable.
In the game. They're worth 6 points each just for having them, and the pregnant side is worth 8. Plus, I can start breeding them. And just so you know, just because the animals are animals doesn't mean you can't place them on your board. There are spots where you can actually flip these over to the green side and the blue side and place them on your board.
You can put them in my barn. See?
You can, that's right. And if you were to put that on that shed, you don't score points for the horse.
No.
By the way, that would be it. But anywho, that is me. So now it is back to you.
Okay. Well, seeing as I have a lot of swords, I have enough wood, I'm going to go ahead and get myself a long ship.
Okay.
You're going to spend 3 workers. Wow, 3 workers to do this. This is actually, wait, maybe I don't want to do that.
Like, hold on a second.
Wait a second. That's 3 workers.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's go whaling instead.
Okay.
Let's go there.
Okay.
So this is going to require me to roll the blue die, which is a 12-sided die. It's going to cost spears and wood.
Before you do that, just so we don't forget, you get an occupation card.
Get to draw a card.
Because you are placing 3 workers. So we have the occupation cards off screen, but there you go.
Okay.
And I believe we are playing with decks B and C.
B and
so
C.
if you're familiar with the game, then you'll know.
All right, so that's going to be something maybe I'll use, maybe I won't, I don't know.
Doesn't sound very...
All right, so this is going to be wood and spear expensive here. Hopefully I can roll pretty well.
Yep.
I do have an ore already built in on my whaling ship, so I'm trying to roll as low as possible. A 1 would be great.
Okay.
All right.
Roll a 12.
11. Sorry about that. Dexter was barking. Okay, so 11 is no good. We need to roll
like
low.
Your roll.
12. All right.
We need a dice
It's the
tray,
last one. I know.
You want to roll here?
Let's roll here.
Okay. That'll be your luck.
8.
8. What do you think, Naveen?
That's a fail, I think. I think that's a fail.
Well, you get a wood. So you
I do get a wood
yourself
from
a
the supply.
wood.
I get a spear.
You get a spear, which... What did I... Oh, no. We didn't have any discard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's your spear.
Spear, thank you.
And you get 2 of your workers back.
I get 2 of them back.
So that's nice.
I'll take them.
That's great.
Yeah, that risk is what I was kind of okay with, I guess.
Yeah, you're going to be able to go first again, I can promise you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So I think since I have my horses, I'm going to go to this spot right here because this is going to give me 2 silver. It'll give me those two.
Here's your 2 silver.
things.
Yep.
It's a mead. What is this?
It's like a 1x3 flax.
There we go.
Uh-huh.
And because I have a horse, I also now get the long one that I gave up earlier.
Right.
So now I can
That's pretty
properly feed.
Sure.
So that's me. I better do this now.
Yeah, I should probably configure a little bit here.
Before I run out
I agree.
of time, right?
There we go.
Perfect.
Everybody can.
Did we do the same thing?
Yeah, we did. All right, now that I have these workers back, I can go ahead and do the thing I was going to do earlier.
Which is?
Go here and make myself a long ship.
Okay.
So by doing this, I am also going to gain an occupation card. And then I'm going to spend 2 wood to gain one of those long ships. So there's the 2 wood.
There's your occupation card.
New occupation, and then one of those.
There you go.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks.
All right, for my last action, I think I'm going to go to this spot. I should have seen this earlier.
Theft?
I went to the elk hunt when I've had this gnar.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go here. Well, I guess now I have a bunch of weapons. So I'm going here. It requires me to roll the orange die.
And you want to roll high.
I want to roll high, but I can spend these weapons.
And again, you're allowed to go here because you have specifically that type of ship, the gnar.
Yes. And the thing that's nice, this is specifically for raiding or pillaging. Oh, I wonder.
Not for thefting.
And I just clarified my melee fighter does not apply for theft. It's specifically raiding or pillaging, and the errata clarifies that as well. Okay, here we go. I don't even know what tile I want, but that's an 8.
8 is best case scenario.
That's an 8.
Wow.
So I can turn in my sword, which I probably don't want to do, but I have 3 bow and arrows and 2 spears, so I can do max 13. You know what? If I spend 4 of these, then I could take this one? Which is 12.
Okay.
Which is not going to help me gain more income, but I could do something like this.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'll get that ore. I'm going to do it.
So you have to give up 4 things?
Yes, I have to give up 4 things. I might as well go with these 3.
Yeah, you can use everything except the traps.
I'll do these 4.
Okay.
So 3 bow and arrow and a spear, and I'll just put these off to the side. And if we need to reshuffle, we will. But this way we can get it
without thumbing through the deck.
Without thumbing through the deck, yeah,
Totally.
Exactly. Okay, so I did
Seemed
that.
pretty good.
I took this. I will finalize that before we finish the actions phase. But that's it for me. I am out for the round.
All right, so I think I will go raiding now that I have this long ship, and it only requires 1 worker. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to roll the orange die. I'm going to roll it.
Roll here?
I'm going to roll it here.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like what happened last time. Hit that stone and then came back.
My bad luck
Yeah,
zone.
so I want to roll high. Let's get an 8.
1.
8.
Nice.
We're rolling pretty decent here. Okay.
So you can turn in stone and swords. What size do you want?
What is the numerical value of the blue that kind of hooks around here?
There's no. Oh, that's right. There is a. I should have thought about that. It's a 9.
And I rolled an 8?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So I'll take that. And then I'm going to give up a single stone, I think, for this.
I should have just done that. I cannot believe it. I guess this is still good, though. If I do that removes 6 points right there. So that's fine.
So now I have that
good job.
Mead. I feel like this mead bonus is kind of a trap sometimes, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the end of the action. So go ahead and place your tiles wherever you want to go.
I'm sure I have to give up something to do that, though. I can't just... Oh, I gave up the stone. That's right.
Yeah, you're good because you rolled an 8, a natural 8. So you gave up 1 stone for that. So I'm going to place this here. That's going to be final for me.
Okay.
I'm going to be able to take that ore now every round. And this is worth 6 points to me. So
yeah, totally.
That's still good.
Yep.
All right. That is the end of the actions phase. You're good? You're all set?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, let's move on.
So I
you
maintain the moose.
Are going to maintain start player.
Yep.
Unfortunately for me. Income, I get 2 silver.
Same.
Still.
2 and 2 for both of us.
Yeah, we have not increased that quite yet.
Nope.
We do go into animal breeding though, and I have 2 horses.
That.
So now one will become pregnant.
So that's good.
Just flip one over.
That's good.
If I were to get rid of my unpregnant horse, I would still have a pregnant one, which would still produce me another horse next round, I believe. But anyway, that's that. So let's go ahead and pay our feast.
Okay. 1, 2, and 3. There you go.
Thank you. All right, so now we do have some bonuses. So I get the ore.
Yeah.
You have 1
you get
ore.
an ore, and I get a mead back.
Here's your mead. And again, it's because we've completely encircled those things on our home board. And then now we are going to update and add new mountain strips. So let's remove this and these 2. Wow, this is just money right there.
Yeah, 4 points just sitting out there.
So let's go ahead and add. This has a lot of wood. So we have 4 wood, 2 stone.
Nice
And
balance.
2 silverlings, or silvers. Sorry, this is not Castles of Burgundy.
Right.
And I'll go ahead and take back your Vikings.
Okay.
All right, and there we are. We are all ready for the next round.
Sure.
So that is the end of round 2. Can you believe it?
I can. The first 3 rounds, you're like, I'm not going to get anything done. By round 4, you're like, okay, I'm working towards something. Round 5, it's like, okay, good. Things are working.
Yes,
So
it still feels like
I'm on
done.
the hook for so much.
All right, we are moving now into round 3.
Nice.
So here we go. Pull down a new Viking. So now we have 8, right?
8 total, yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
We're on the hook to feed for 8.
Yeah, I guess. Harvest, there is no harvest this round, so I hope that you calculated for that. This is going to be our first round where we flip over an exploration board. So if you consult the blue chart, it says A. So all of the exploration boards that are labeled A at the bottom right-hand corner are going to get flipped over. So now Isle of Man is no longer available, and instead we have Limerick.
Yes.
So all of the other exploration boards that were not flipped over actually get 2 silver placed on each.
All of these will.
Yes, to make them a little bit sweeter. So maybe it'll entice you, maybe not.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. It's 2 less points that you have to deal with.
And in a future round, if you have to flip over a tile that has silver on them, then the silver goes away.
Right.
So that's that. Let's go ahead and draw a new weapon. Here you go, Naveen. I hope you get what you
Spear.
looking for.
More
I got a
spears.
sword. Hey, that's nice. And then now, again, starting with you, actions. Go for it.
All right. Very jealous of your horses.
Yeah? Well, you too can have some horses.
I am going to go get some horses. So let's go ahead and drop off 4 workers here. It's going to cost me 3 silver.
You get an occupation card.
No, I get to spend one.
Oh, you went to the 4th
Yeah,
spot.
4th spot.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, because here it's only pigs or sheep.
Yes.
Here is how I can get 2 horses.
So you're taking 2 horses?
Yes, but I do have to spend, I believe, this 1x4 orange.
Yeah,
it's like a
the long wheat.
long wheat.
I don't know what it's actually called, but I like to call it the long wheat.
Yeah, and then I'll take 2 horses, please.
Here are your horses. Make sure they are on the proper side.
The unpregnant side,
Right.
the 6-point side versus the 8-point thicker side.
Yes.
There we go.
Are you going to be playing an occupation card?
I think I'm going to trash one for 4 points.
Nice.
Yes, I will. So I'm going to trash this one.
Okay,
And
this
I'm gonna,
goes out.
And then for doing that, as part of the Norwegians expansion, they have this stack of tiles. So this is just going to be straight up worth 4 points at the end of the game.
Very good.
Wasn't happy with that occupation, so I'll just take that.
All right. Done?
That's it, yeah.
All right, so now it is back to me, and I think, even though I don't have the tiles for this could really backfire on me. I'm going to take an exploration board.
Okay.
So I think I have to go here. I would like to take Isle of Skye.
Okay.
So
Isle of Skye.
On the actual board itself, it tells you at the top right-hand corner what spot and with what kind of boat you need in order to take it. So for Isle of Skye, just the one Viking column, and any of the 3 boats will do. So I have a Nar.
Comes with $2.
Comes
2
with
silver.
my 2 silver.
Yeah.
And now I have this board that I can start filling.
Now you're on the
with
hook.
The tiles that I don't have.
Right.
It's worth 10 points, but really it's negative 15. So I better get to work on that.
I should start doing this. I hate to have to do this, but I'm going to do this for right now.
Oh boy.
I know.
All right. Well, it's back to you.
Back to me. Okay, so I think there's a way to get some stuff back from what I just did.
Okay.
And I think it's this spot right here. So I'm going to go ahead and place 2 workers out here. That's going to get me 2 silverling.
Yeah. You get a mead. You get that long grain back.
Correct.
And what is that? Flax?
Yeah, flax.
This?
Exactly.
All right. There you go.
So I get 3 things out of this. Oh, 4 things really. I got the 2 silver already. And then I got 1, 2. And then because I have horses, I got that one now.
Very good.
There we go.
All right.
We got some stuff.
Since I have some silver, I think now is as good a time as any to buy some tiles. So I'm going to go here because I also don't have any more occupation cards in my hand.
So you get to draw one.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and draw one since it's the column 3.
Interesting.
And what is this? That's not bad.
Okay.
But that is not in play yet. And so with this spot, I can buy up to 2 tiles from the board.
Okay.
So I know that there are a couple of tiles that are free, which is nice. But also, this is not bad. This is for 2 silver.
2 silver, yeah.
You know what? I will take this.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, no, sorry, this one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Because with these 2, I think I can do something like this if I put, how did I do that? There, something like that.
Yeah, that works.
Because then I can do this, and now I can get the 2 income,
Yeah, that's a
on
good
that
one.
board. And if I put something there, then I can also get the rune stone
So what's the total cost there?
every round. So the total cost of these 2 tiles is going to be 4 silver.
Okay.
So I'll do it. Here's the
You're taking
4. Yeah.
Not good.
Ugh. I don't know.
For
I'm just
me,
going to hold
not
on to
good.
it for
Okay.
now and then see what I can do later.
All right.
And actually, I'm going to take this one instead.
Okay.
Sorry, instead of this.
So
So I'm
is
going to have
there-
1 silver back.
There's a price difference?
Yeah, there's just a 1 silver price
A little
difference.
discount, huh?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Back to you.
Back to me. Okay, 2 workers left. I feel like I'm not going to be going first. So let's go ahead and go fishing. Let's try to catch some fish.
Ooh, exciting.
Since I have a lot of spears and I have a lot of traps, this
Mhm.
makes sense to do it now. Hopefully I can roll a very low number.
Okay. Good luck.
7's not low.
Uh-huh.
1
One.
is low, however.
Nice.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep the spears and give up a trap.
Okay.
So I get 2 fish and
Yeah.
then a barrel, like a tiny little barrel.
There you go. Here's 2 fish. Just keep it on the red side.
Okay.
And then here's the barrel.
Yes, and I should figure out how I'm going to feed. I feel like this is not the right thing to do here.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
time.
I have some time.
All right. Back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did that finagling with the money because I realized that we are in round 3 and I want to emigrate. So
You're emigrating. You're
I'm-
getting out.
I am. I'm
You're leaving
emigrating.
your people.
Going here, I have to spend 3 silver because it's the price of whatever round we're in. So this is the
Okay.
best exchange for me right now.
Sure.
So here's my 3 silver, and I get to flip over my Nar, and now I have to feed for less. So that is me.
Are you planning your feeding?
I have not planned it yet. I
Okay.
will deal with that in a
This
second.
may or may not be my feeding in the end. I will
Okay,
figure that out in a
No
second.
problem.
Well, with my long ship, I should probably go raiding while I can. So let's go ahead and head over there.
Okay.
Can I get the orange dice to go to an 8? That is the question.
Well.
4.
Okay, not quite.
Not quite. I do have a lot of swords and I do have some stone, but I want to
You
keep
have
going.
so many weapons.
6. Oh, this is okay.
The smallest value is a 6 for the
Smallest.
tiny rune.
Interesting.
So you can take that. And there are also some over there. I don't know if there's a 6 out there.
So is that the same as this side right here? Like
Yes,
that? Oh,
it's the
okay.
same as your barrel,
Ooh,
just the
okay.
blue side.
What is a 7 if I spent a sword?
A 7 is this, cutlery.
Cutlery.
It's 1 square larger than your barrel.
Interesting. So I will spend a sword,
Okay.
and then that'll make it from 6 to a 7.
Okay, so is that what you want?
That's
You want this
yes, I'll take it.
You don't want to shop from over there?
With a 6, I mean, there's not much that's that size, or 7. So I see like this piece with this would be pretty nice
Okay.
to go
If
like
you're
that.
happy with that.
I think so. I would like
Yeah?
to get this wood kind of covered in, but I think I'm going to go with that.
Okay,
That'll be it.
cool. Done?
hmm
You're out for the round.
I'm out. That's
All
it.
right,
You will
I
be
get
the
to
moose.
go first next round, which is nice. Since it's back to me, I think I'm going to go here because I don't want to spend a lot and I do
Sure.
want to get some tiles. So I'm going to turn this in for the green long one.
Yeah, it's 4 long. Yeah.
This? The
Yep,
cloth?
that's it.
Okay, so I did that. And I have 1 more worker here, which means I will probably go here.
Okay.
Just so that I can get that mead, so I can feed.
you
So I
can
get 1
feed.
silver.
Get your 1 silver.
I get a mead, and I get that,
What we're
that
calling-
nice kind of laurel.
Like a door entrance
Yeah,
wreath
thing.
kind of thing. I'm sure it has some significance.
All right, I'm just going to configure my tiles real quick since the round is ending.
Okay.
All right, I think that's
It's
it.
done.
I just placed everything here, and I did my feast. And
Okay.
now I think this is legal because I covered up this spot, which all the squares to the
Below
left,
and to the left.
Yeah, below and to the left are
Looks good.
covered. And I've also encircled my runestone.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is it for actions. I'm the new start player.
You are?
Let's go ahead and collect our income. So for me, it's going to be 2 plus 2, so 4.
Yeah, it's going to be 3.
Mhm.
So let me get you your 4.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3. Oops. Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
Now we have animal breeding. Because I have a pregnant horse, the horse becomes no longer pregnant, and
I get a pregnant horse.
I gain 1.
Okay.
So now I have another horse here.
Very, very good.
Okay. Now we go ahead and turn in our feast materials. So
There you go.
as long as you're able to do that,
It was.
then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to gain our bonuses. So I get 1 ore and a rune stone. I think
Nice.
just those 2 things.
I get 1 mead.
You get a mead.
Mead.
Here you go. May I have an ore, please?
Sure. Let me get that for you right
There's my runestone. Wonderful. And by the way, when you get your income, you can place that income to cover spots
Bonuses,
for
if you need to.
bonuses
Yep.
in that moment if you need to. Okay, now we're going to update and add new mountain strips. So remove this. This goes. Oh, we snoozed on that money there.
I know.
That goes, and so does this. So
Perfect.
here you go.
These go out.
Because this mountain strip only has the money left, this is actually going to get removed.
Also removed, yeah.
So let's just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we can just fill in on the top side.
And this goes out. Yeah, I'm just going to fill in on the top side. I hope that doesn't bother you out there. So we have a new strip here. It's 3 wood, 2 stone, an ore, and of course the money. And
There you
then, thank
And
you.
I'll bring back all the workers.
Yes.
The Vikings, I
The
mean.
Vikings. And that's it. We've removed all of our Vikings, and that is the end of round 3.
Right.
So we're kind of at that point in the game where I have no idea how I'm doing.
I think
you know
it's
what
at
I mean?
that point where it's like, now your strategy, go with it.
Yeah, you start paving a way. You have
Yeah.
started paving your way already,
Right.
and so you kind of have to run with decisions you've made and see what you can make of it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
All right, are you ready for round 4?
I am ready.
Here we go. So let's go ahead and take a new Viking.
New Viking.
So
more
now we have
commitments,
9.
More to feed.
Oh my goodness, so many, so many.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna have a harvest this round? Do we have a harvest? We do. So now we have tiles 1 through 3. So here is your harvest. Make sure it's all on the orange side. So it should be a total of 5 tiles, because again, it's the stage 1 harvest plus the
2, and then
the
now
stage
the 3.
2, and then now that single
Sweet.
stage 3. So we've got a lot of
Lots of stuff.
stuff here.
I need to get this thing moving.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta convert some of it to red.
I need to feed these people.
Yeah. All right. So we are not going to flip over. Oh yeah, we are. Let's go ahead and flip over exploration board B.
Okay, so B is going to flip, which is the one that you took.
Oh,
I
yes.
believe Isle of Skye is that.
Which
So
means nothing will flip, but you still add silver.
2 on each one.
2 on each, yes. So there's only 3 tiles left, but now, Naveen, if you'd like to take a tile, it's pretty sweet.
It is getting sweeter. So just because off screen, tiles C and D now have 4 coins on them. A flipped in the earlier one, so it did not accumulate, so it only has 2 on it. Hope that makes sense. And Monique
Yeah.
took B.
And I took B. All right, done?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and draw a new weapon. So here you are.
You're first, so
Oh, well,
make it
thank you.
fate.
Bow and arrow. Uh-oh, did I want that?
I don't know.
What are you going to get?
Let's see. Bow and arrow.
Okay,
Didn't matter.
good.
Okay.
Then it was even. All right, and now actions. So starting with me this time. Wow,
You.
what a feeling. I think this is too good. I'm going to start
It's too
by
good.
taking the spot that you've been taking.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you can take 3 from one mountain strip, and this right here is like
Just
it's
a
so
bunch of
juicy.
stuff, yeah.
It's 4 coins and 2 ore. Boom, just like that.
I would have liked that one.
Jeez,
For sure.
that's nice. And I get 2
2 cards,
weapons.
yeah.
So let's see what we have. Oh, okay, a trap, and I got a sword.
Mhm.
I've been accumulating some swords here. Maybe it's time to get another boat.
Maybe.
All right, so now it is to you.
Okay, so seeing as I can feed everyone right now, I think it's time to start getting these oranges a little bit elevated, a little bit higher.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to take 3 workers,
hmm
and we're going to just drop them right into this 4 spot. So all of these, 4 of these, I'm going to be able to flip over.
Very good. And because it's the 3rd column, you get
a
an occupation card.
So I'm going to take a look at this occupation. Maybe it'll have some sort of bearing as to what I do.
Even though you can't play it.
I can't play it, but it might
Yeah.
guide my decision making as to like what
Yeah.
to switch. A lot of these occupations would be like, if you have a salt mead, you can convert it into something better or something like that. Very cool. Okay, so that might be played. Okay,
Okay.
let's go ahead and flip over 4 different items. So we're going to go 1, 2. So now I have a pig. You
Very
are
cool.
legally allowed to flip into a pig,
Yes.
even though it's an animal.
Right.
1, 2. We're going to go 3 and 4. There we go. So now we got some stuff.
That's awesome.
There we go.
I'm jealous.
And I'm going to bring this pig down into this area here.
Yeah, into your animal
Animal
area.
region.
Well, I think I'm going to take this spot. This is 2 spots, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I think I'm going to take a very expensive spot up here.
Wow, more
And,
stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's going to give me an occupation card.
So you get 3 from any one mountain space, and then you're going to get 2 upgrades, 2 separate upgrades.
Yes. I think that I will take these 3. They're pretty much both the same options.
Yeah,
So 3 wood and two things I can upgrade
2
once,
can be
you said,
upgraded.
right?
Yep. So you can make a pig as well.
Well, I definitely want to be able to fill this.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to flip this.
So that's one of your
That's
upgrades.
one of my upgrades. I'm
Okay.
going to put it there for safekeeping.
Mhm.
And then I will flip the into a pig.
Into a pig, yeah.
So that's 2.
Sure. Okay.
That's not bad.
Nice.
All right, back to you.
Let's go and lay a snare. Let's go into this spot right here. So it's going to require wood and snares. So hopefully we can get this successful. Let's do something low.
Okay.
That's an 8.
An 8.
That's not good.
Okay. You like rolling the dice.
7.
7.
Yikes.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm going to get a consolation. 2. Okay.
That's nice.
2 is nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to give up the 2 traps.
Okay.
Because one of my rewards is getting a trap back. Yeah.
There you go.
And then it's the large one.
The large pelt
one. The way I started the game with that one, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Whew.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
There we
and
go.
You can use wood. That was a good spot.
Yeah, it's a big piece.
I mean, I can catch fish.
Yeah, I did it last time.
It's not nearly as good.
There's not going to be a harvest in the next phase.
That's true. Let's do it. Naveen's been rolling the dice. It is my turn
Have at it.
to roll this die.
Again,
so I'm going to roll over
low.
here. Please roll row 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take that.
Yeah.
And I can turn in traps and
Or
or spears. I'm going to turn in 2 traps.
Okay.
There you go.
So you get 2 fish and a barrel.
Yes. 2 fish and a nice green barrel. Boom. So that way I can feed later. All right. Back to you.
Pretty good. Okay, before I forget.
Yeah.
I know I need to, if I want to maximize how much income I can get out of this board here, I should probably put it into play. I have a pregnant horse that's going to give birth at the end of the round. So I can give this horse into this spot. So in order to do this, I'm going to put out 1 worker here. It's going to cost me 1 wood to put this into
play. So that's your artisan shed.
So my artisan shed. So I'm choosing the barn. I am not choosing the lumberjack hut.
Okay.
So I'm doing that. So this is going to go here.
And you really don't have to put that horse there until the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well,
you can hold off.
If I want the 2 coins ongoing, then I should put my horse there. So I don't forget. This horse is pregnant. It's going to make me a second one, and then they'll just passively do their thing. So I will put this here. Well, I have this right here. Sorry. This should go there, which then covers, which then allows me to do this. So this barn is taken care of. For the rest of the game, it is good. So I'm going to get the 6 points there plus 2 income every single time now.
Let me see what I have here. Yeah. Is this something that I might want to consider?
In addition to that, I get this bonus every single time we have a bonus, which is, I believe, this piece right here, the large 1x4.
Yeah, that's really not bad.
So that'll help with feeding people.
Maybe.
Yeah. They did give it to us at the beginning of the game. So, yeah.
Okay, this is where I start to fail because I start getting really scatter-minded and like, ooh, that sounds great.
I mean, it is. It's good.
It does. Okay, anyway, it's back to me. I'm going to go here, and I might as well make the whaling boat. I can make that decision later if I want to put that into play.
Yep.
But here's my 1 wood, and I get a whaling boat.
Okay.
And if I want to add an oar there, I have plenty of ore to do so.
Yeah, you do.
All right, back to you. If you play your workers
correctly,
nicely, you'll be able to go first next round.
I think I'm going to have to go here and do a triple upgrade.
Okay.
So 3 single upgrades. So we're just going to get 1, 2, and 3. Can you convert all of these into green if you don't mind?
Okay. So here is the comparable meat.
Yep.
So there's that. We have this for this.
Okay.
So there's that. And then the square. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, so you have 1 worker left.
1 old worker.
Oh my gosh, all I have to do is play 1. I think I'm just going to get ready for the next round, and I'll probably go here. Okay. Just take 2 resources. I might as well take this to make it a little bit harder since this is now going to go away. Oh, is that bad?
You're clearing them out, huh?
I'm bad.
Clearing the mountains.
Yes, now it's back to you.
Okay, so I am going to take this action, but it requires a Nar, which is the 1 ship I don't have. As an anytime action, you can purchase a ship with your silver. So I am going to buy 1 for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and buy that Nar.
Oh, you're buying this?
In order to take the action that I want to take. So this is going to come out here. And it basically that 5 points that's in silverlings just gets converted into 5 points in silver.
Yeah.
Gets converted into a ship. So it's just being used in a different way than taking actions that cost money.
You basically just can't use it to put it on your board now.
To put it on my board or feed or anything like that. Yeah.
Right.
But I will do that, and that way I can go ahead and do this action, which is any different greens convert to their blue counterparts. So it's going to be the last 2 silver of mine that goes out, and then these all are going to flip 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
Since they're all unique tiles.
They're all
what
unique.
a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good feeling, because I would like to close this off and get a passive wood.
Yeah, I bet.
And not have to go to the mountains all the time.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and start doing it. So I'm just going to start finagling this while you take your action.
Okay, so you're done?
I'm done, yep.
I'm debating either converting my pig into that green. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to convert my pig into those 2 tiles. So there goes the pig. Goodbye, pig. It was nice knowing ya. I get the long salt meat, right? And then that tile. I don't know why I put it back, knowing that I was going to need it.
Right back, yeah.
All right, but that is it. That is the end of the action. So let's go ahead and configure our tiles wherever you want to place them.
I think I'm going to stay like this.
So I think I'm going to do something like this, or can be placed next to each other. And I happen to have an overabundance of it, so I might as well just use it so that I can get to my next my next income threshold.
Dominating that board there.
Which is that 4. Now, I'm not required to fill that spot, but if you can see close enough, it's a -2, so it's in my best interest to fill it by the end of the game.
Sure.
But I'm also going to place an ore up here, because that way I can completely encircle that bonus.
Wow, what bonus is that? I can't see it from here.
It's cloth.
Cloth.
It's a square green.
Ooh.
Now, if I really wanted to, I could also put something here, but I would need to fill in 3 squares to get that fish, and I'm really not needing it right now.
You're not feeling it?
So, nah.
Okay.
Maybe not right now.
Okay.
I think those are all the tiles that I can really place, with the exception of like my ore and money. And I'm not really doing much on my home board, which is kind of scaring me. But we will, that's a future Monique problem, I think, right?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, well, that is it. So let's go ahead and move on. So I think I was the last one to place.
Yep, you maintain.
So I'm maintaining the start player.
Income.
Income. So my income is now 6. Because I have 2 plus 4.
Okay, mine is 7, so it's 5 plus 2.
Okay.
So let's get you said how much? 6 for you?
6.
Okay, here's a 4 and a 2, and then I'm going to get 7.
Thank you. Okay, great. Animal breeding. So my horse now is pregnant again. So again, it's only just 1 horse, even if you have more than 2.
So I have a pregnant horse, so can I have a second one, please?
Yes, and then you can continue to
do that.
To do the breeding.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and spend our feast items. So for me, it was just these 2.
Yeah, these 3 items.
All right.
There you go.
Perfect. Now we have our bonuses. So I think I have...
You have quite a bit.
3 bonuses. So I have the ore.
Ore, which I'll get you right now.
Thank you. I have a rune stone, which is nice. And then now I have the addition of that green cloth.
Yeah, you got a lot of things working.
So there's that. For you?
So I get a piece of wood, which I have here, and then also a mead.
There you go. Thanks. Oh, and you get that.
And what was it? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
The long, like, wheat.
That's great.
That's right.
That'll help you with feeding.
Okay, yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and update these. So remove this, this, and these, all 3. Wow.
Just wiped.
We're going to be a little bit depleted of resources. So these 3 mountain strips.
But we do get a new one.
Are leaving us. But yes, we do get a new one. So there's that.
Lots of wood.
So that's 4 wood, 1 stone, an ore, and 2 silver. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started with removing the Vikings.
Okay.
All right, and I think that is it. So that is the end of round 4.
4, yeah.
We're going to round 5. Are you ready? All right, let's just dive right in, right?
Let's do it.
Okay, so go ahead and pull a new Viking.
New Viking.
It's getting a little crowded. It's
getting
a little
crowded,
hot in this room.
Crowded is good.
No harvest.
No harvest.
Unfortunately. Do we have exploration board C?
C is here.
flip?
C had 4 coins on it. C no longer has 4 coins on it because they go away. So C, this is going to now become
Cork.
Cork right there.
Wow,
there
that looks tough.
Like, yeah.
I'm pretty much just going to ignore the exploration boards now because I am not competent enough to be able to handle more than 1. Yes, advanced players can.
Yeah.
I'm in like the not advanced category.
I'm going to put 2 coins on the other 2, on D, which did not flip yet, and then on the previous one, which was A, which got flipped over to Limerick.
I mean, the thing that's nice is that over time that the money itself makes the board worth it.
Could be. Yeah.
You don't even have to
do as much.
Sometimes it just nets it. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and draw a new weapon. So I guess I'll go first.
Fate. There's your bow and arrow.
Another bow and arrow.
Come
Here's
on, sword.
For you.
Let's go sword. Spear. Spear is good.
Spear is good. All right, now starting with me, actions. I think I'm going to start actually by doing that anytime action that you did.
You gonna buy a ship?
I'm going to buy a ship.
Yeah. Which one are you gonna buy?
So I'm investing my money.
Looks like a long ship.
I'm investing.
Based off what I'm
Yes,
seeing.
I'm going for a long ship. So
That's
here's 8.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy this. I really don't want to spend three
workers
on that.
Totally.
So there's my
if
long
you have
ship.
the money, it's better to use the Vikings to actually operate the long ship, you know?
Yeah, and I can go raiding or pillaging.
Mm-hmm.
Pillaging gives me the 12-sided die, and I can place an ore on there if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go pillaging.
Yeah.
So that's 2 workers. I get to roll the blue die.
All right.
I don't even know what value I want. I just want...
7.
Oh, 7 is not that great. I'm going to re-roll it.
Go again.
We've got
8.
8.
Okay.
I'm too scared to...
You could use stones and
chance it.
swords.
I could. Okay, I'm going to take this.
Okay.
This is a 9. This came from here, by the way. I was just doing some configuring.
Okay.
Which means I have to spend 1 thing.
Sword or stone.
I'm going to spend a spear. Because I can use spears instead of long swords when raiding or pillaging.
There you go.
So there's that. And look how beautiful this piece is for this spot right here. Oh my gosh.
Terrible for me.
Wow.
Horrible.
Wow. Beautiful. All right.
Look at that.
All right.
Shoot.
So now it is back to you.
Toast.
I don't think so. I have nothing here.
Doesn't feel good.
Literally nothing going on here. It's our last 3 rounds.
I am worried about feeding these people. Let me see what my commitments are here.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is as far as I can see myself. I need to figure some other things out. So let's just go ahead and move on and figure that out later.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go whaling.
All right. Good luck.
Let's do it. So it's going to be here.
Okay.
And that's going to get me an occupation card.
Oh, yes. Here you go. Congratulations.
I have too many of these. I need to get rid of them.
Yeah, you have some nice spots to do it.
So let's roll the blue die. Let's get a real low number again.
Oh, you're here, huh?
Yeah, 4.
4's
Ooh,
nice.
4 is nice.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I have spears. 1, 2, 3, 4. And spears, it's spears in wood, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, but I get a discount because of this. So it's really a 3.
Right.
Because it comes with
an ore.
An ore. So it's only 3. So
Yeah,
okay, yes, we're gonna do that.
Good job.
3 spears go out. I
Very
always
good.
forget that.
And so you...
So there are some spoils. So I get a barrel.
You get this.
Bare bones meat.
You
Looks
get
like
the barrel and, yeah, the bones.
the bones.
The bones.
The bones.
The lovely bones.
Perfect.
All right. Done?
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Okay, back to me. I'm going to go back for some raiding.
You're going back.
So, yeah, I was
You're just
worried
going
that you
all
were
in?
going to go there.
I wanted to,
but
but other
alas.
things to do.
Can you please toss me the orange die?
Orange die, you got it.
Thank you. Okay, let's hope that I can roll into something good.
1.
Not that.
Worst case scenario.
What is that?
Ooh.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like an 8.
Do you think it... Naveen, your call.
You want to... Who knows if it would have kept tumbling? That's the question.
Your call. If you want me to re-roll it, I will. But if you want me to keep it, I will. It's up to you.
Let's make you re-roll it.
Wow!
I'm just kidding. It's an 8. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine.
Really?
It's fine.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. I get to keep the 8.
You do.
What did I want? I think I wanted a 10. I wanted this with it, which means I have to spend stone and swords. I'm going to spend these 2 swords. So boom, boom. Now that turns into a 10. And is that foolish? Is there something better? This?
Hammer?
Perhaps. Well, the thing that's so hard is you have to make these work. Whereas this is just like a nice...
It's just solid.
Boom.
Yeah.
So I could do something like this and then get to the 3. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's me. That's back to you.
Pretty good. Okay, I think I'm going to take 3 workers, 3 Vikings.
Okay.
And we are going to go get myself 2 sheep. So we're going to go there.
Oh, that's the spot that I wanted.
You're going to go there? Okay, so it's going to cost 2. I get another job.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like at a job fair here. I got like
you do.
5 different career paths to go down.
There you go.
I'm like a,
And here are
I'm like a
2
freshman
sheep.
in college. Can't figure out what I want to do. All right, so, oh, okay. Okay.
You happy?
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yes, that is interesting. So I got 2 sheep.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then I do have to give up this basket of beans, unfortunately. That was kind of the trade-off.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's like I traded them in somehow. Okay.
Well, you took the spot that I wanted, so congratulations there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I will settle for a spot that I never really go to, which makes me wonder if it's a good spot or not. And it's this one. So this is going to get me an occupation card, which I will look at later.
Which spot was that?
This one right here.
Yeah, that's looking good.
And so going here requires me to spend 2 wood, a stone, and an ore. So there we go. And I get I get a silver, and then I get 3 blue tiles, which is kind of nice.
Silver.
So treasure chest, rune, and then the equivalent of a pig, but the luxury goods version.
Luxury goods pig.
Which looks like that. So it looks like a bunch of tools. So I'm just gonna decorate my area over here and then figure that out later. But that is me. And you gave me my silver?
I did, yeah. I dropped one in there.
Thank you. Back to you.
All right, I think I got to get in on one of these exploration islands.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so the one I want is the one that has the most money on it.
Okay.
That is going to require me to go to this spot specifically because this one requires you to have 2 workers and either one of these 2 ships. I have both of them. I have all 3 types of ships in this game. It came with
bragging.
It came with 6 money. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
and then this is now in play. So let's go ahead and I'll keep this here.
Nice.
Keep it nice and tight, and then I don't want to mess this up. So I need to get income here like ASAP. So let's just cover.
Done?
I'll take these off after. I'll do it later. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
All right. I think because there's a 4 token still there, I'm going to go here. So I can draw an occupation card for going there, and then I can put up to 4 of them in play. So I know that I don't care about a couple of these things. How many 3s are left in there?
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of 3s?
Yeah, there's only 1 4, and then like there's...
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a handful of 3s, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to... do I want to keep any of these? I think I'm going to toss 3 of them. So I'll discard 3 of them for the tokens. So I'll put them off to the side here.
So you're going to get a 4, a 3, and a 3.
And then...
It's 11 points. Yikes.
And then I'm going to put one of them into play. So this occupation card I'm putting into play, it's a treasurer. And it looks like, I think at any time, I can turn in the square blue plus 3 silver for the 3x3.
Okay.
So it just adds 5 more spaces to it, I guess.
It's good.
It's just 1 point less than it would have gotten. And I figured I might be able to, it could save me in a pinch at some point in the game.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry, our areas are getting a little bit messy
here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But it's back to you.
This is a blue. I'm just going to try to mess with this. I need to get this working for me.
And before we have any funny business, this goes there. Sorry.
I think I'm going to go ahead and go to this spot here.
Okay.
I'm going to get myself 1 wood because wood is very useful.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I'm going to upgrade 1 tile. Let's go ahead and upgrade this one to its green side.
Oh, that's a nice big tile.
Big one, yeah.
Here you go. So you turned that into...
That. Like a cloak.
Is that a cloak?
Yeah.
Well, I hope it keeps you warm.
Warm.
Oh, you're going to go first next round.
Yes.
Well, I guess my options now, I could go to one of these areas here. Mm-hmm. I can go on an elk hunt, or I can possibly get something from there. Ooh, that's not bad. I think I should do it. I'm going to go here and turn in 1 ore. Kind of just have those 5 tiles. These are the only tiles that are eligible for this.
Right. So, this is specific to the Norwegians expansion.
Right. I think I'm going to go with this, the cross.
The cross?
So, yes. All right, that is it. I'm out for the round. I'm just going to configure my tiles if you'd like to take your last action.
Sure. We're going to go on an elk hunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do it. So any type of weapon except swords will work. We need to roll low, as low as possible.
Good luck.
6 is no good.
Okay.
7 is also no good, unless this is not a legitimate roll.
I'll let you decide that. Since you were merciful.
Not in my favor. 2 is a very good roll.
Okay, so that's a 2.
That's a 2.
If that was not clear.
Yeah.
So you can turn in any of the 3.
I'm going to do 2 bow and arrows.
Bow and arrows.
Ooh. Yes, no? 2 bow and arrows.
Okay. Well, you get a weapon. And so there's that.
Which is a trap. Very good.
And you also get this. There's a bunch of trays off screen. We didn't really showcase what these tiles look like, but there are 3 trays that look like this. So just a bunch of tiles that we're constantly trying to manage.
Through,
So, all right. And I, in the meantime, have configured my area. I had to pay for a spot, which didn't feel good, but I did it just so I can cover that 4. So I guess I'll get the money back. But anyway.
Well, look at you. I will not be placing these tiles out right now.
At all?
Not right now.
Leave them out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes you got to do it so that you can flip them over for later.
Yep.
All right, well, that's that. So you are the new start player.
Me.
There you go.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Income. So mine is now 5 plus 4, so 9.
9 for you. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So here's a 4, 4, 1.
Thank you.
And then I have some income now. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ah, yours is nicer.
The game comes with this big bar of 10. which is nice. So let's just have it for a little time being.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Animal breeding.
Okay.
So I had a pregnant horse. Was that right? Does that sound accurate?
Possibly.
Which means I can flip that over.
Nice.
And I get a horse.
My sheep becomes pregnant, and then
Okay.
one of my horses becomes pregnant. So there we go.
Very good. So that's breeding. Let's go ahead and feed our feast. Did you do your feast?
I did. I had to waste this kind of mead right here. It went like vertical, but it's okay.
Okay. The mead is pretty.
Plus, I get an ongoing mead as like a bonus. So.
You can. It's not too bad to waste, I guess.
Not too bad, yeah.
Okay, bonuses. So I still get the ore.
I get a wood and a mead.
A rune, a fish, and a cloth.
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff.
These. You can have an ore, please.
Yes, and then I just need a mead, and then also one of those long 4, like hay flax.
This?
Yes,
that
but the
side.
orange side, yeah.
Okay, so here's your
And then the mead.
mead, and don't forget your wood.
I got the wood already.
Okay.
So this long 4 I got from here,
Okay,
and then the wood and mead are from there and there.
very good.
Okay.
So I believe that's that. So let's go ahead and update the mountain strips. So just these 2 come off, and we're going to gain a new one.
Sure.
So there's that. And we're going to gain, ooh, this one has even amounts and no ore. So 3 and 3.
3, 3, and money.
And then let's go ahead and pull back. All right, so there we go. And just like that, that is the end of round 5. So 2 more rounds left. There's a lot of empty space
Lot to do.
on my board.
Same.
What are we going to do? What's going to become of us, Naveen?
Somehow things work out, I think.
Not always.
If I remember.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So we'll see if this is one of those times. Anyway, let's go into round 6. So new Viking. So now we have
another worker.
almost everybody.
Almost.
Everybody has joined our cause.
Mhm.
Are we harvesting?
We are.
This is the last
harvest, so
All
make
right.
it count.
So it's 1 through 4 now.
Yep.
So here's your harvest.
Okay.
So it's the 3 level 1s, the 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4.
Yeah.
So you should have
All this stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Cool.
Let me just gather mine real quick. All right. I believe I have all of my stuff now.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Look at all that food.
What am I
you
going to do with
guys.
all this stuff? You got to save it. Save it for the next round.
I need to find my way to feed these people just a little bit more.
Okay. Do we turn over a D? Yes, this is the last time we're flipping over an exploration
D.
board.
I have D.
Okay,
So,
so those
nothing
just
flips.
get some,
They just get a little extra cash.
a little bit of cash. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw you a weapon while you
Okay.
do that. Since
Thanks.
you're first, you get, what did you want?
Oh, I didn't take anything.
You get a sword.
Sword.
There you go.
Oh, sword is nice.
I think you wanted that earlier, right?
I do want that, yeah.
And I get a spear. Spear is...
Knowing that you're going raiding and
versatile.
stuff, I definitely want
What?
to go raiding.
You're trying to compete with me?
I had that long ship first.
Well, fortunately, you're going first.
I am
So
going
go
first.
for it.
All right, we're going pillaging.
Okay.
There we are.
Very
Let's
good.
roll the blue die. Let's just roll it here. Nice and neat.
Okay.
7. That's
Uh-huh.
not good enough.
Uh-huh.
10. 10 is good.
Yeah, it's almost... Maybe we don't roll on my player board.
I know, I'm sorry. Let's see. I can spend up to... What is it? Is there a 14
A
blue?
14.
Or a
One
13
moment.
blue?
It goes 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11, 15? Can I
9,
see what
10.
the 11 looks like?
Yeah, and then don't forget that there are those. So
Yeah.
here's the 11.
This is the big blue.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nobody has the English crown yet.
The big blue is kind of nice. Because I rolled a 10, plus I can give 1 sword for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is nice. So this is a 3x3, so it's worth 9 pieces. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 also. But awkwardly shaped. This one fits kind of nice and neat. I think I'm going to go with this one.
Okay.
So I'll spend 1 sword.
Spend 1 sword.
Yep.
Very good.
And I'll just take it.
All right. Well, seeing as now I know that you are going raiding and pillaging, I got to go here,
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
So I'm going to roll the orange die. And I think I'm just going to roll on the board. Why not?
Why not?
Why
That's
not?
probably the best place to go.
Let's go.
1.
1. Awful.
2. Keep it low. I need a break.
What
Low.
just got on?
7.
Fantastic. Okay. So I have 1 sword. I
That
can
makes
also
it
use a
8.
spear. So I can go to 7, 8, 9. And I have 1 stone, so I could do max 10.
10, which is the 2x4 blue jewelry.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good, yeah. There's also this kind of strange one.
Also not bad. I'm gonna go with the 10.
Okay.
This one. So, I mean, this is not bad. It's also not great.
No,
See, that's the thing about these. I can do this forever, so I'm just not going to do that.
Sure.
What did it roll? A 7?
7.
Which means I have to turn everything in. 7,
9,
8, 9, 10.
10.
There's
Wow.
my 1 stone. There we go. I don't have anything anymore.
You really made those weapons work for you, though. That was good.
And you know, I had a plan for my stone originally, and it didn't pan out. So
no.
here we are. All right, back to you.
All right. I need to do something about this island board. This is a problem here.
The islands, yes.
Sometimes I make them work,
Stressful.
and sometimes they just do not work. So
Right.
let's just try to do something else.
Okay.
I think I need more stuff. So the best way to get more stuff is by going here.
Okay.
Now I am going to be turning in my sheep for a wool,
Yeah.
a small pelt, and then a salt meat.
Nice. All right. So I'll take your sheep.
Sheep. I'm going to give you my non-pregnant one. How about that?
Yeah, that's smart. So here's these 2, and then the salt meat.
Thank you.
There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
I think if I put this in here, this handles my food.
Yeah.
My food requirements for the round.
The food. Oh my gosh,
Most
the
excellent.
feeding.
Mustn't forget the food.
You know, I'm gonna stress out about that
Yeah.
in a second. Well, actually,
You gonna emigrate?
I think so. I think I will.
Yeah.
It's second to last
Emigration.
round, but let's emigrate.
6.
So it's gonna cost me 6. I have this money. Let's make it work for me.
Okay.
Flip that
So
over.
No more pillaging for you.
Now I've got,
No more raiding.
well, I mean, I can always buy a boat.
You could? Yep.
And then go again if I really, really want to.
Mhm.
But if I don't, I have emigrated. So now it's back to you. And I could feed for less. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's good. All right. It is time
Yeah.
to go back to lay a snare.
Okay.
So we need to roll low, and then it's wood or traps. So hopefully I roll really low.
Good luck. Well, you rolled off screen.
I rolled off
So
screen.
that
It
was a 7. You want to roll on the board,
Yeah.
maybe? That might be easier.
6. Please roll low.
Okay.
8. Oh no!
Is this a fail? Is this, are you going to choose to fail?
I mean, what is that?
Or do you want to turn in 8?
I don't think I have 8.
Is this where you went?
Yeah.
Traps and wood?
Yeah,
No,
I
you
have
have
1,
4.
2. I have 6
Okay.
next.
Well, you get a wood from the supply.
I do
You
get a
get one of
wood.
these guys back.
Mhm.
And then I will give you your trap. There you go. So you can try again another day,
Another round.
just not
It's a
today.
dead turn. That's not good.
All right,
Turns
well,
are important.
I'm starting to panic a little bit because there's a lot of minus points on my board. So I'm going to go here
What's that?
because it is worker heavy, but very cheap to just get a forgeable tile
Yeah.
for an ore. So let me get an occupation card real quick.
Getting that ore ongoing bonus was really nice for you.
That is nice.
Yeah.
The ore ongoing bonus is sweet, especially early. So here's the ore,
I think you got it like super early, right?
and I did. I just plopped that there.
Yeah.
And so let's go. Forgeable only.
Here or there.
So fortunately, I think this is forgeable. Let me just take a look at these 3.
And you just take it.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything.
Okay, I will take this. So this is just a lot of space to it. And I think I'm just going to place it right here because I
Okay.
really need to start covering those minus
Minus
points.
things, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to leave it there, set it, and forget
Calling
it.
it.
All right, it's back to you.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to send out 4 workers.
Okay,
And we're going to go to this spot. Seeing as I have sheep and pigs,
okay.
might as well go into this spot. So this one has me getting 1 silver.
Yeah,
I get the basket of,
here you go.
yeah, that.
I'll help you out there.
1.
You get
I get the orange
floral.
floral wreath thing.
You have a pig and
I have a pig and I have sheep.
That's a great spot for
Let me
you.
get, yeah,
so you get the salt meat and you get to shear your sheep.
shear the sheep. No one's harmed.
There you go.
There you go.
Just some fur. That's all.
Just some fur. Yep, there we
That's
go.
really not bad.
And then I get to play an occupation card.
That's right.
We're going to go ahead and play the Dragon Slayer.
Oh,
now, the
okay.
Dragon Slayer here says I can immediately turn in 2 traps and 2 spears for this 3x3 blue chest.
Ooh, are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to go out. And then these 2 are going to go out. So my option was I could have discarded an occupation, which would get me 3 points based off that token, or
Yeah.
technically this 3x3 is literally taking away 9 points.
Yeah.
It's a 9-pointer.
That's
So yeah, I'll
That's
take
great.
that. Yeah.
What a good exchange.
Yeah. And
I'm
that's a
just
one-off.
gonna-
Anything with the yellow is a one-off, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove this because I'm not
You're not doing it?
probably not going to put that
Okay.
into play, and I could really use the space for all my tiles.
Fair.
Ridiculous. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go to this spot right here, which lets me upgrade 3 things once.
Nice.
So I'm going to upgrade both of these fish. I have all these fish
Okay.
to their green counterparts because they get upgraded just once.
Okay. And you
And
get
then
one more?
I might as well just upgrade this to blue.
Sure.
So I just flip that over. Real simple. Oh, real easy. And now I could pay 3 coins to turn that into a big
Yeah.
chest.
You good?
I'll worry about that later.
Okay.
Probably right before
When the
we end
time
the
is right.
round. Yeah.
Okay.
So, back to you.
Back to me. Let's go ahead and get myself one of these.
Okay.
These
So you're going
bad
for
boys.
the middle one?
The middle one, yeah. So I'm going to do the top action, not the bottom.
Okay.
I'm going to turn in my 1 stone to build out one of these structures. And the one I'm going to build is this one.
Yes, that's
Right here.
exactly that. Wow, I
So
just had it.
if I did, yeah, if I did nothing with this,
Uh-huh.
it would net me 1 point. There's
Right.
9 negatives, but it's worth 10.
Yeah.
So it's something. So the thing that's nice about this is I can put reds and oranges on this.
That's correct.
Which is definitely something I'm going to want to do. And I need to now make some space because I'm making a mess here. And let's go ahead and just clear some stuff off without knocking things over. Okay.
Done?
Perfect. Yes, that is that action.
All right. Well, that's not bad.
This is a mess here. I apologize. Okay.
That's how this game is.
Yeah.
By the way, if you've never played A Feast for Odin, it's a mess. It's a table hog. There's a lot going on.
Just don't
So
accidentally flip your tiles.
please
That's the biggest thing.
forgive us for the way this looks right now.
I know.
Okay. I'm gonna go here, and was gonna turn in a flax. Real simple, real easy. 1 flax for a cloth. I have all these orange tiles and really
You do.
not really working them. So there's that. All right, now it's back to you.
Okay, seeing as I only have 1 worker left, Monique has 2, and it's my turn. I'm clearly going to have to be going second next round, which is
Okay.
not good. But I'm going to go ahead and send out my worker to this sailing action here because I'm going to pay 2 coins
Okay.
to flip over every single unique green that I have, and I think I have a bunch of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not unique because it's there. So all of these are going to become their blue side. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I definitely need to get those
Wow.
out onto the board.
Look at you go.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going. I'm
Okay.
trying.
And those were all unique? I wasn't
They were
looking.
all
I'm
unique,
just trusting you there.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, I think it's just for my last turn. I'm just going to make it a really simple last turn, and I'm just going to go here. I'm playing 2 workers there
Okay.
so that I can play a card, which this would have been great earlier on. Do I want to do that? Hold on. Can I make use of this? with-
Something no good. I'm just going to be
something
configuring
else?
while you're figuring out your stuff.
You know what? Yeah, let's do it. I don't really see a spot. Maybe I just don't have any resources. So I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to ditch this card. So can I have the top token over there, please?
Top token. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
so
it's
the
worth
reason
3
why
points.
I'm able to play an occupation card again is because I am playing 2 Vikings in that spot versus just 1.
Right.
And so this spot allows me to pay a silver and a whaling boat to get a longship.
Very good.
So I traded it
You're
in. I
back
just
into the shipping.
upgraded it. I wasn't going whaling. So did I ever go whaling? Maybe I didn't. So
Maybe you
figured
didn't. Yeah.
maybe I'll just do that. And that should be the end of the round. So let me just place this where I can. I think that's it.
Yeah. You like your stuff?
I think so. I have
I'm gonna go
placed.
like this.
I placed the coin here just so I can get that 1 wood. I don't know if that'll help save me for some reason
Okay.
in the last round, but there it is.
Finding myself in a troublesome spot. I got to cover up some of these negatives here. So let's just do that right there.
I mean, you're
Maybe
going to
I
get a
can
lot
get-
of income right there. So it's
Yeah,
nice.
that is good.
All right, done?
I think that's my full configuration. Yeah, for right
Okay.
now. Mm-hmm.
Well, that is it then. That's the
Yep.
end of the actions. I'm going to be the start player for the final round,
Final round. Yep.
which is nice. Let's go ahead and collect our income. So I have 7 plus 4, 11.
11.
Please?
Yeah, I'll give you a tenner and
Okay.
a 1.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I have some pretty decent income. So we are going to get, let's see, what is it? 9,
Uh-huh.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is that right?
Do you have anything here?
No, this one just gets me a pelt as a bonus.
Okay, yeah, 14.
So it's 14?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so I'll
nice.
take a 10 and a 4.
Ugh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, so that is income. Let's do some animal breeding. So my horse becomes pregnant.
So I get 1 sheep and 1 horse. They both are pregnant, and now they're no longer.
Ooh, that's great for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Your animal game is going to be
decent, I think.
Decent. Yeah, here you go. So sheep and horse. All right, so let's go ahead and turn in our feast items. So just these 2 for
1,
me.
2, 3. All these go out.
All right. I need to find a way to fill in the rest of my negatives because that's not good. Let's get our bonuses. So can I have an ore, please?
Yeah, you get an ore. I actually get an ore now because I did it finally.
Oh, can I have a wood also?
You get a wood.
I did that in the very last
I also get a wood for this one.
a second. And then let me just get my tiles. It's going to be the cloth, fish, and the rune.
Okay.
These 3. Okay, what do you get?
So I get a mead.
Okay.
I also get a small pelt, I think. That's a small pelt.
There, yes.
And then also the long 4 wheat.
All right. There you go.
Thanks.
Very good.
Perfect.
And you know the well, oh no, you didn't fill that.
Not
do you
yet.
want to put 2 coins there for the milk?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it's the last time you're gonna get that
Yes,
bonus.
thank you. I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah. Or else it is for naught.
All for naught.
There you go.
There was a reason.
Okay. And a lot of, these boards are all asymmetric, the exploration boards. So some of them come with bigger rewards, bigger bonuses. Sometimes you can get like a boat. I think one of them has a boat.
I think so, yeah.
One of the expansion boards.
Yep.
So anyway, let's go ahead and do this for the final time. I'm going to remove these and we get one last new mountain strip.
Sure.
Just like that. And let's go ahead and fill this and pull off our Vikings for the final time.
Okay.
All right, it's a little bit messy,
Yeah.
but here we are, all cleaned up and ready for the final round. All right, here we go. We are in our final round. I have no idea what's going to happen.
There's a lot to cover up.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's been a long game. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. So for the final time, go ahead and grab
Final
your
Viking.
final Viking.
All right.
I
I got to feed for 12 people, huh?
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
just
too.
Thinking about all this food.
That's a lot. We are not going to have a harvest.
No.
We are also no longer flipping, right?
Right.
But we will still draw new weapons. So I get a sword. Hey, look at me.
What do I get?
You get a trap.
Ooh, a trap.
There you go.
Okay.
And now we take our actions.
Okay,
Let me
you're first.
I am first, but I'm realizing that we do still have to feed one last time. So let me just see what I'm on the hook for here. Okay.
Totally.
There we go. Boom.
We've been able to feed.
All right.
That's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
For my first action, I'm going to do this now while I still can. I'm going to go pillaging.
Yeah.
So there you go. I
There it
still
is.
have my ship here.
And you got a
so-
sword. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I just got a sword and just rolling the die, this 12-sided die already, pretty much gets you something. So
Good
3
luck.
attempts. Thanks. Surely get something, right?
9.
Okay, that's a 9. That's
pretty good.
not bad because I could turn that in for a 10.
Yeah, which gives you this piece right here, the 2x4.
Ah, this.
The jewelry.
The jewelry. That's really good. Is there... Oh, there's also this, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's other stuff.
You can keep rolling. Really go for it.
I'm just going to stop there. I'm too scared to not roll
that's
something
pretty good.
better. So that's a 9. And I'm going to take this tile. That was from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a battle value of 10, which
you
means I have to spend the sword.
Yep.
So I'm going to take it, and I'll configure it later.
Sure.
But it is 1 square more than the other one.
Very good.
All right, back to you.
All right, I'm going to go for a heavy hitter here.
Okay.
We're sending 4 Vikings out to get me some animals.
Whoa.
All right, so I'm going to spend 3. So here's 4 minus 1.
Okay.
So I'll get 1 back.
Yep.
And then yes, this is good right there.
Yeah, what would you like?
I'm going to take 2 cattle.
2 cattle.
2 cattle.
Oh, okay.
The first time seeing the cattle,
Interesting.
they are worth 3 each, and if one is pregnant, it's 4. So this is technically a 7-point move.
Yeah.
If I keep these.
Yeah, that's true.
And because one will become pregnant before the end of the game.
Well, 4-point move because you spent the 3, but who's counting?
Who's counting? Right? Yes.
Would you care to put an occupation
I
into
would
play?
love to discard an occupation. I think. Hold the phone. So I'm going to trash an occupation.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to get these
The
3
points?
points. Yeah.
All
Let's just
right.
take the 3 points.
All
Perfect.
right. So that was a whole four Vikings.
A third of my squad
Oh my gosh.
went to go get some cows.
Well, I guess I'll go here with 2 Vikings. I have my 1 wood, and I think I might as well just spend it on a boat.
Gonna get a
right?
boat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
get an R. That's 5 points.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yours are 5 points.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
All right.
glad you went there
Why?
because I would love to go to the double upgrade spot.
Oh no.
So this is get 4 resources. I think I'm going to take just from this entire top row.
Yeah. Now I feel bad.
And then in addition to that, I get 2 double upgrades.
Okay.
My cows are going to now become blue.
Oh.
They are going to go from red to green, which would be the next tile, and then the green to the flipped blue.
Wow, that was a very good move. There you go.
So,
oh my gosh.
there we goes. And now that can just sit there, and this can probably just sit there.
I have fear.
Seems pretty good.
I do have
I won't put that
fears.
out there yet until I configure, but there we go.
Okay.
Oh, and occupation card, sorry. Let me go ahead and just get rid of one.
For the 3 points?
Yeah, I'm going to trash for 3 points, so that goes out.
Okay.
I'll take this 3 points down.
Very good.
There we go.
Well, I really didn't like that. So
these go here, yeah.
since you did that, I guess I have to go here. So 4 things once.
Okay.
And I get an occupation card. So let's grab that really quick.
Right. 4 things once.
4 things once.
Okay.
So definitely this. That's
To the blue.
1.
Mhm.
And then 3 more of the other things, I guess. 1, 2, and 3, right? Just
Right.
the biggest.
I'm just flipping them over.
Yeah, just flip them.
To the red side.
Yeah, to the red side.
Mhm.
Exactly. All right. So now it's back to you.
Okay. Well, I think I have to go and get myself 3 upgrades.
Uh,
Yeah. So I'm going to get this and turn it into a blue, and then I'm going to make both of these into their green parts. So
Okay.
the milk becomes the wool, and the mead becomes a barrel.
Man, I shouldn't have taken that boat. I have regrets.
The boat? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad move. Here you go. There's that for you.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I have to. Yeah, I guess I don't really have much choice.
Okay.
But to go here, which is going to get me an occupation card, which really doesn't really matter now
Right.
that we don't have many workers left. And I'll get 3 resources from 1. So I'll just take these because
Okay.
I can at least use the ore.
Sure.
And 2 single upgrades. So I'm going to upgrade one of this and one of these.
Yeah, to green.
To the green side,
Mhm.
exactly. So it'll be these 2. All right.
Gotcha.
Now it's back to you. Oh
Ooh,
boy.
boy. Yeah.
Oh, we're both feeling that burn.
Yeah.
It's bad.
hmm Well, I think I am going to build another structure. So we're going to go here. It's going to cost me 1 wood. Which
Okay.
I'll pay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be building a little shack that's going to house some stuff.
Yeah, you have a bunch of resources.
I do have a bunch of resources.
Makes
so
sense.
I know that this has to go here and
Okay.
here, so I don't forget. So this hut, I don't remember the exact name of it, starts with 8 points, but it has 6 minus, so it's +2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can
Look at just
do
the shed.
1, 2, 3 on top, and then this one right here. So
Nice. It'll
That's
be
pretty
worth
good.
6 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
not bad.
All right. So back to me. I have 2 workers left.
2 workers left.
Ugh. What do we do? What do we do?
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm just going to go here.
Okay.
It's 1 resource, so I'll take the double money,
Okay.
and 1 upgrade. So I'll just upgrade this to a green. So
To green. Okay.
yeah, that
Nice.
was actually much simpler than I thought.
Simpler. Yeah.
So now it goes back to you for your final action.
Final
Naveen.
action. Oh
All
boy.
the marbles.
All the marbles. Okay, let's see what I even have to work with. This is this board here, this
Yeah.
island board was not worth it.
No,
Well, maybe in the end it
you having regrets?
it came with 6 plus it's worth 15, but there's minus 25. So I was only in the hole by 4 and I got income 3 times however many rounds. So it netted something positive. It's just not going to feel good at the end of the game.
Yeah, I feel you on
Yeah.
that. It's tough.
It
It's
is
tough
tough.
out here.
Yeah, I got 1 more turn. So let me start messing with this just a little bit just to make sure. So this is going to go here. Well, I might as well go raiding. We can do it one last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to roll the yellow or the orange die, and hopefully we can be succcessful here.
Good luck.
7.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Let's just go ahead and get rid of these swords.
Okay.
What do we have?
For a 9, you can take this or smaller, and then there's stuff over there.
Stuff over there, huh? Yeah, I'll take the luxury item, that 9.
There you
Yeah,
go.
There we go.
All right.
There it is. Okay,
Very
I'll
good.
figure out how to configure that in a second.
Okay, well, for my last action, by the way, I just kind of pushed forward the stuff that I just placed now because
Okay.
these are not permanent, because I think I might need to spend this ore. So I'm going to spend the ore probably here, right? Just take something that I can immediately place.
From here, right?
Yeah, with no restrictions. Can I actually just have that?
Yeah, the whole board? Sure.
Yeah, and this is the ore that I'm spending.
Okay. This one seems pretty good for you. If like you can just fit it in right in this little slot.
That's true, but this one has more squares.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's one more square
You're
than
gonna
the
take
others. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Let me just see really quick.
Yeah, if it can work out.
Yeah, like I don't think this was not here. So I can kind of let me just configure my board. That was it anyway. So why don't you go ahead and
mess
figure
around
out
with
the
my
tile
stuff?
situation. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
I think I'm going to leave it like this.
Okay.
And then you're probably thinking the same thing, right? We'll just fill everything else with money.
Yes, that's basically
just
what
so
I'm
we
going to be doing.
can uncover that 18.
Yeah, because we are going to get that money
Okay.
in the end.
Do you mind breaking this up for me into
Sure.
singles?
Into just a bunch of singles?
Please, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think I'm done.
Yes.
I literally put all my money out.
Same.
So
well,
I just,
other than 2, yeah.
Yeah, I just covered up a bunch of spots just so...
to make it easier.
To make it easier.
Yes.
And then there were a couple of spots on my Isle of Skye board that were -2 points.
Yeah.
So if you just cover it, even with 1 coin, it's still better, right?
Yeah,
Still
and
nets
I
you
had the
more.
same thing. Yeah, I had one spot that was -2.
All right, well, that is it then.
Yeah.
That is the end
Did it.
of the actions phase. I'm start player, but it doesn't really matter now. For the final income, there's actually a spot on the score sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it now.
Yeah.
And we'll just write our final income in. So sometimes people think that you collect your final income and then you write it again on the score sheet. Do not double score that. It's really just supposed to be for
To
ease of
avoid
use.
redundancy.
Yeah. All right. So then what is your final income? I know mine is 4 plus 18, so 22.
Let's see. I have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23?
23, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't clear, the reason why we place our money all over the place is because the income actually jumps from 15 to 18.
18, yeah.
So if you can get that 18 in the last bit, then you'll net at least that +3.
Yeah,
right?
because the 1 coin in hand covering a -1 is net 0. So you want to get to that extra income, that extra +3.
Yeah, and then covering these spaces here will do you no good.
No
it's
good.
just a little bit of overhang to allow for certain tiles that you need to put there.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so that was our final income. We do have animal breeding.
Yeah, my horse gets
my
pregnant.
Horse is pregnant, so we get another one. Do you get any additional?
No, both the sheep and the horse just became pregnant, so I scored an extra little couple points.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just went ahead and grabbed a horse. Go ahead and feed your feast.
Yeah, everyone was fed.
So, yeah,
Nobody was angry.
Feasting is not a huge issue
Yeah, it's
in this
very
game.
doable in this game.
It's just something that you need to consider. And that is it. Because the game ends after feast, you do not collect bonuses or do anything past phase 9.
Yeah, there's a little banner thing
Yes.
that says game end after round 7.
Game end after round 7. So we have reached the end of the game. We are now going to go into final scoring, which should be fairly
Straightforward. It's straightforward, yeah.
So are you ready?
Let's do it,
I have no idea how I did here.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel not very good.
Okay.
So, all right. Starting with ships, I guess I'll just count mine first and then we'll do yours. I have these 2 ships, so it's only the ships. It's not the emigrations or anything like that. So total, this is 13 points from me. And you?
Let's see. I have 13, 14, 15, 16 points.
Okay.
Yep.
So far, not looking good for me. Emigrations, I have these 2, so that's 39.
39.
Is it?
39.
Okay. And you?
0.
Okay, no emigration.
No emigration, yeah.
Exploration board, so we're not taking into consideration the minus points, just whatever it says at the top. So my Isle of Skye is 10 points.
Okay, mine is 15.
15.
That does not count these structures here, correct?
Right,
Okay.
yes. Now we go into sheds and houses. So I have 0 for that, and that is your structures. So all 3 of those.
Yeah, so 10 plus 6, 16, plus another 8, that's 24.
24, nice. Sheep and cattle, really, this is all of our animals.
Just the
because
points
we
on the
didn't
animals.
add that to the score sheet.
Right.
So I just have horses. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses. They're worth 6 points each. None of them are pregnant, so that's 30 points.
Wow. Okay, so I have 1 pregnant horse for 8,
Uh-huh.
and then 2 non for 6 each, so that's 20. Plus another 5 because 1 pregnant sheep and 1 non-pregnant, so 25, and then 1 pig for 26.
Hey, you had a pig there.
Yeah, it just hung out there the whole time. I didn't really use it. I thought I was gonna do the whole like pig auto pregnancy thing, but I was just doing other things.
Yeah, that is fair. Occupations now. So that includes these tokens.
Yep.
I have these 2 occupations that I didn't really use. So I should have just turned this in for the 3
For
points.
the 3
instead.
points, yeah.
So that's 5 plus these 4 tokens. I think I
You
have
have a good amount there.
3, 6, 9, 13 plus 5 is 18.
18, okay.
Okay, it's 18.
The one occupation I had was a Dragon Slayer. It's
Okay.
0, but I got 4, 7, 10 points.
Okay. Any leftover silver? I didn't have any. I just
2.
put them all out. So
$2.
2 for you?
Yeah, $2.
Okay, anybody get the English crown? Nobody did.
Nobody
huh?
did, yeah.
Wow.
Nobody was strong enough.
First time in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we did all the nice, happy things, we're going to count our negative points
Okay.
on all of our boards.
Sure.
So I think all of my negative points on my home board are done. So it's just here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So minus 5. How about you?
I have 2 stone, 1, 2, not there. And then technically I could have broken these up and put it into here and here. I didn't realize that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
minus
minus
4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, and that's about it.
That's
so
it, yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and do some math, and then I'll get back to their final scores. All right, final scores are in. Oh my gosh. So it is me with 127
Okay.
to Naveen with 112.
Oh, no. Immigration. Nice.
Wow.
You got those horses
my
just
gosh.
reproducing.
Whew. Yeah.
You had 127?
Yeah. That is
Nice.
on the higher end, I think,
Yeah.
for what I'm usually able to score.
That was
We
pretty
played
good.
a 4-player game of it recently, and didn't do
I got
that well.
crushed in that one recently.
Maybe we learned
yeah.
some lessons there.
Maybe, yeah. Wow.
And I guess that the 2-player game is going to be different. You know,
It's a
the
little more open.
competition.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more open. They do scale that for a 2-player game. So there are some spots, as you can see in the top down, there were some holes in a
Yes.
4-player
Yeah.
game. That's all filled. So
And some of that right side is a little different on the other one.
yeah. So anyway, that was quite a journey.
Yeah, wow.
How do you feel that went for you in terms of gameplay?
I was fun. That was really good. You, I couldn't tell like if you were gonna get it all done because it looked like you didn't have a way, especially when I got those cows and I was able to flip them to blue in one turn.
No kidding.
I was like, okay, maybe
I
she's
was
gonna have a
scared
bunch
too.
of negatives, but then you just.
Well, I had just a bunch of money. I mean, my board is pretty deceiving because I really just ended up filling my board with money in the end.
Yeah.
I didn't get the tiles that I needed, but fortunately, I was able to get a lot of forgeable tiles. You know, the irregular ones. And the thing that's nice about those is it's kind of like a blue tile. You can put them next to anything.
Yeah, they help
So-
break up continuity in the green tiles, which is nice, that hierarchy.
Yeah, a lot. And so this time around, I felt like I focused a little bit more on horses. You know, in the past, I focused on pigs just because it sounds so enticing to hear that they breed every round, but they're only worth 1 point. So if you're not using the pigs to do something else with it.
Yeah, I feel like you almost have to
know?
like convert them because they have that C shape, like you have to lock them in.
Yeah.
So it's like to make it like a solid like bar, you know.
Yeah.
But then greens
Right.
can't touch green, so then you got to convert 1 to green, 1 to blue. So
Yeah, I don't think pigs can be your main strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more of like a side
Supplemental, yeah.
piece to be able to lock in those
I
shapes.
could see the pigs turning into their green form and using them in conjunction with those forgeable tiles or the ones that you can get from raiding.
Yeah.
Because those kind of have these like elongated steps, and then you just
Right.
put the pig and just kind of like sink, like, you know, lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this time around, I felt like I wanted to focus on horses early because they're so lucrative and I wanted to emigrate. Those are
They
my
are
2
valuable.
goals.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was going to focus a lot more on rating, and I did for a little bit. I did not, I should have got some of these unique tiles instead of spending the time getting the greens and then flipping them to blue.
that
Possibly
can be
like
time.
doing a little bit more of just kind of getting these awkward shapes and then making it work with the greens, creating a barrier by having those. And then when I get the next set of blues or greens, then kind of creating another lattice where I can go from there.
You tend to like to go whaling.
I do.
Anything with the dice.
I do like to roll the dice in this game.
Naveen
For some,
spends his time on those
I think
dice.
you get 3 rolls. You get to make your best decision after 3 rolls. That seems fair.
It's exciting.
Just a one-off roll, I'd be like, no way. But
Yeah, yeah.
you get to push your luck a little bit. You can mitigate it with the cards and the
Right.
resources. So that part's fun. I do like the fact that that you can also, like I said, spend the cards to not only get the forgeable items and those items, but you can also just go and get the luxury items right away.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
nice
yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of kind of ramping up from like a smaller level
Right.
item.
Well, there you go.
There you go, yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. Well played.
Thank
yeah,
you.
good job. Good score.
All right. right, so let's talk about it. Finally, we've been able to cover this beast of a game.
Yes,
right.
We knew we were going to cover it,
Yeah.
but it was about when and like the time commitment.
What
to
capacity?
Yeah.
Because not only is it a long game, it's a long teach. Gosh, I think this might have been the longest teach of any videos that we've ever done on the channel.
Well, maybe the Vital Lacerda games, not so much, but I would have to go back and look. But for the Uwe Rosenberg games, this is probably the most in terms of overhead for explaining.
Definitely for Uwe Rosenberg. It's just so many different concepts kind of chopped into one or mixed into one, I guess, right? It feels like a combination of a lot of the games prior. It has a sandbox feel of something like Caverna, the worker placement of like Agricola. This game is coming hot off the heels of Fields of Arles, which also did some tile flipping. And other games that had resources like I think Le Havre was one that also you really couldn't flip over your tiles because you had to pay attention to what side they were on.
Right.
You saw a lot of like the beginnings of that in those games. And then it all came together in this. Some say it's kind of like his magnum opus.
Yeah, it's a really good game. We really enjoy this one.
It's wild because, and that's why the teach is so long, because there are so many concepts just mixed into one. And at the end of the teach, you're like, great. What do I do? Right? Where do I start?
Totally, yeah. And to add on the Norwegians expansion, it really elevated the game for us even more so. We really enjoyed the base game. For us, it's kind of like we only play with the Norwegians expansion from now on.
Yes.
It's basically, if we could get rid of that box, if it could fit it all in the base box, we would. Every single time we play this, even with new players, we just introduce this version of the game because the rules overhead is really not that much different from the base game. So this elevated the game for us because of like what you did today. You did the animal strategy.
The horse.
We found that in
very strong.
Earlier, the base game without the Norwegian expansion. Going the animal strategy wasn't really something that you could truly focus on until now, so it made it even more of a sandboxy game.
I think the thing that really made me love the Norwegians expansion in particular is the fifth column. The addition of the fifth column as like a last-ditch action. You know, you're going to be out of the round anyway. Here are some really sweet options for you to choose from, right?
Or if it's like, you know what, I'm willing to give up an extra worker to really go there so I can play a card plus, do something else.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that really did it for me. I think the artisan sheds is a nice touch as well.
Yeah, the starting ones,
The changes that he made to the main board is what really sealed the deal for me in terms of the expansion. So let's kind of go through it. This is a game that appeared on our top 50. This is one of my favorite games of all time. Depending on how often I played it in a short amount of time, if it's been a long amount of time, sometimes it is my favorite game. I really adore this game for a variety of reasons. But let's start with theme, I suppose.
Sure.
The thing that I find funny about this theme, people go back and forth about it because it's about Vikings. Vikings did awful things in the past and such, and they're a major part of history. But it's so not thematic.
No.
Right? Like, all of his other games are about farming, and you can kind of really feel that sometimes. Like, you're planting crops, you have to really feed your people, you feel the stress of that. And this is really just a means to an end of getting tiles. Different colored tiles to fill your board.
And then the conversion, sometimes you're like, how did that become that?
We're just going to ignore that. Although the game does come with an almanac, I think.
Maybe it's like, this was commonly traded for this.
It has a lot of the historical references in that book. I will admit I haven't quite read it because to me it's a pretty just mechanical game. But it is there for anybody who's interested. In terms of player count, replayability, what are your thoughts?
All player counts are very good. We most recently, before this one, played it at 4 players. Also very good, even more tense.
Yes, definitely.
We played it all 3 player counts, 2, 3, and 4.
We haven't played it solo.
We've never played it solo, but I think it scales very well. You're still getting the essence of everything, and you're still having that crunch of, oh man, that's the only spot where I can do X, Y, and Z, and like, trying to get everything done by the end of the 7th round. You still feel that kind of that wave of like the first 3 rounds, no matter what the player count is, like, I don't know when I'm going to get this done. I don't know what my strategy is. Then you get to the mid rounds and you're like, okay, I've picked this path. and I'm going to go down this
Make a deal
path.
with it.
And then somehow around like round 6, 7, you're like, I still have a lot to do. And then it just kind of all works itself out as long as you've kind of dedicated yourself to a route. And I felt that way for all player accounts, 2, 3, and 4. I never felt like in a 2-player game, like I was able to just do whatever the heck I wanted.
Yeah, definitely not. It scales well, but there is definitely a little bit more openness to it in a 2-player game, especially in the mountains and trading spots where you're doing the upgrades. I know that for sure in a 2-player game, even if he takes half the spots, I still get half the spots.
Yeah,
you know what
true,
I mean?
yeah.
Depending on how many Vikings I have. In a 4-player game, that's not true. I might get one of the spots if I don't get that first
Because
player.
you're waiting around for your turn.
Yeah.
So like you're not going to have as much option A, option B. Like you're like, okay, plan A, plan B may fail on you in a 4-player game.
Because there still are only a certain number of these of each individual spot, especially because they're all categorized. So in a 4-player game, it's definitely tighter. And in a 4-player game, start player is also way more interesting.
That is true, yes.
You're really trying to hold out, or you're really hoping that the person who goes before you is going to last the longest in a round, so
Because
that
you
get a better
could burn out,
turn
but
order.
the person who precedes you could be the one holding out, and you're just going to go second based off of that person's play. So yes, that is a nice part of the game.
Yes, I love how start player works in the game. But in terms of replayability, there's a lot of variability in the game. I know that doesn't always equal replayability, but for me it does, because it's such a sandbox of a game that every time I restart, I kind of look at my starting occupation to try to give me a hand as to where I should start going.
Gotcha.
But I will usually choose a route, and I'll usually try to try something new, and I'll switch paths somewhere down that road, because I have a really hard time just focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll try new islands. So I don't know if I've ever done Isle of Skye before, but there are a ton of islands, especially with the Norwegians expansion. And in a 2-player game, we play with 4 islands, but you're not limited to that. If you want to, you can play with all of them.
Lay them all out.
I think there's 8.
There might be 10. Yeah.
And they flip. So because we have some of the expansion islands, and we also didn't mention it, but some of our tiles are promo tiles.
Yeah, you might have saw that Christmas tree.
Yeah, the Christmas tree.
Promo.
It's not part of the real game. And so the islands are double-sided. And so really there's double the amount that's there. So you can really, play this game over and over again and try something new and see how that works with your strategy. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just really fun to try to figure it out.
The islands stress me out. Like I know I need one, but how am I gonna get this to be actually like lucrative for me?
Yeah.
I always find myself in the situation that I was just in right now. Like I kind of got a little bit of income out of it. I got the island that had money on top of it, and then like I'm gonna eke out maybe a +4 on it.
Yeah.
But like, did I really need to do that, or was there something else I could do? But it's like that's the only other place to get points, because no matter what, I most of the time can get to that 18-point income. So it's like I need to get points somewhere else.
I think that's what is so interesting about this game. So just leading into mechanics, this game is all about ROI. And if you don't know that acronym, it means return on investment. And so everything that you do, you start the game already in the negatives. So your first order of business is, how do I climb out of the hole? And even if I do climb out of the hole, how do I score more points on top of that, right? Because it's not enough for you to fill your home board. If you just fill your home board and that's it, you'll get the 18 points of income.
Probably some animals and some coins.
You're trying to figure out how to get points on top of that. And so if I'm going to get an island, that island needs to work for me. It needs to get me some positive points, or at least it needs to get me some additional income throughout the game, or those bonuses need to be sweet, whatever it is. And I need to feel like I can do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And in addition to those exploration boards, you also have sheds and huts and all sorts of things that you're just kind of pulled, towards or so. And you're just trying to make everything work for you. And that's the part that's hard.
Yeah. That was a good, you played pretty well. Like you did a good amount of everything. Like you were able to really capitalize on your Isle of Skye board. You got the runestones as well as the fish. Which really helped you out, like in the feeding, because
with the feeding,
because I always gun for this mead right here, and I find myself like not really needing it as much.
Yeah, the mead is a distraction.
It is a distraction. Yeah.
Not every bonus you'll need.
I know.
So that's the other part of it. You have to figure out in the game what is important to you. It's all about ROI. Is this bonus? This bonus is there. I could try to encircle it and get this every round, but am I going to use it?
Blow past it, yeah.
Right? And the other thing is you're juggling between time, resources, and workers, right?
Your Vikings.
Are you going to take the spot that requires you to have a lot of Vikings, but you get a really big tile? Or do I buy a boat now because it's going to save me time, but now I have less resources? So you're juggling between those 3 things all the time. And that's the part that makes it really hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, buying the boat is a nice little touch to the game, like where you don't have to compete over wood. Maybe you don't have access to wood and you're like, well, I have money, but I don't have wood, so I can't even go there. And I don't want to spend 2 Vikings going there because I can spend those 2 Vikings doing something else. So that nice touch of you can always store your money in the form of a boat. I've really appreciated that mechanism in this game since the first time I played it.
But now you don't have the money.
But now you don't have the money to go use it for other things.
I debated buying a boat in that last round to be able to do the plundering action, but had I done that, I wouldn't have been able to fill my board with the money. So there's a lot.
I had the exact same thought about getting a second long ship. There's a spot on the board in the 4 column, so it's Viking intensive. But you have to have 2 long ships, and then you automatically get one of those 3x4 luxury items, which is the biggest tile, which is the one that I converted these cows for. So but that costs a lot of your workers to do it. Yeah.
So you're always debating the cost benefit on everything that you do. There's a spot that allows you to pay 2 silver if you have a Gnar to flip over any number of green tiles. But is it worth it to use a worker and money on that spot? Or can I just use my green tiles? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing that you're debating all the time.
I love that spot. I love that spot if I have a bunch of unique green. If I have 2 or 3, I'm probably not going to do it.
But you're still tempted to do it because it's still an available spot, and blue is always just so enticing.
It is.
Right?
It can go anywhere.
So anyway, I really adore this game.
Same.
I think that he took the concepts of some of the concepts from Fields of Arle, minus the winter-summer crossboard, and took basically the tile flipping and made it useful, right? You're not only flipping tiles, but you're utilizing them for a greater good. There's something bigger here. For people who are not very good at the polyomino Tetrising, I don't know if this is going to be quite your thing, because it's going to be that for the entire 7 rounds.
Every time we teach this game to people, like the first time, it's like, these are all my negative points. Like that can be a little scary. So if like you're not into like the polyomino, and you know that by being not good at polyominoes, you're going to suffer a consequence of a bunch of negative points, it might not be for you. But for us, we really, really enjoy this one.
And in fact, this is a game, the very first time you picked it up, I had seen the menu, the worker placement spots, and I thought, wow, this is not a game for me. I'm not going to want to play this. I was playing Lacerdas at the time, where all of the worker placements are pretty, sectioned off. It didn't look like this. And I really just wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I gave it a shot one day and fell in love with it. You really never know. Because I love this game so much, I would just recommend you try it if you enjoy Uwe Rosenberg games. But it's going to be really interesting to see where all of the games line up in the end.
Yeah.
Knowing that this is a game that, one of the few games that we had played, it seems like, before going into the series.
Yeah, there's a couple more even after this now that we have maybe only played once, or we haven't played at all. So now we have to play those games and get ready for those so that we can finally do a full comparison of all the titles that we've covered.
And so there you go. That is A Feast for Odin with the Norwegians expansion. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any strategies, there are people who are really good at this game, and we're always looking for ways to improve, I guess. What are some of your favorite strategies to employ specifically with, you can talk about the base game, or you can talk about with the expansion. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, we are nearing the end of our series.
Getting closer.
I believe we have 3 more titles left.
Newsfjord,
which we haven't played yet.
Not yet.
Reykholt, and
which we have
Atiwa,
Atiwa is another one,
just got in. So after those 3, then this long epic will be done.
I think so, yeah. So if you do want to follow along on the rest of the Uwe Rosenberg series, feel free to subscribe. We also have a playlist up here, the little eye in the corner, which you can check out all the other games that we've already played on the channel if you want to catch up with us. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more like this in the future, again, please consider subscribing.
Thank you. Bye.